books sure. I can.
Hello.
Oh, you don't have.
Family, friends, fans, and fellow adventurers. Welcome back to Practical Heroes with our second flagship campaign and a full team. We're all back. Welcome back, Lindsay.
Yeah.
But yes, last time, we did some stuff that I am just completely blanking on. I'm now frantically scrolling for Maywood's recap that seems to have vanished because all I can see is pictures of pumpkin pie. There we go.
I don't see a problem here.
You guys decided that you would leave the safety and comfort of Thistlewood and bravely venture out into the wilderness to see if you could get kidnapped. Of course, you had the foresight to leave a note for Linger saying, "Bye, off to get kidnapped."
Oh my god, we did do that.
Because you let Mira write the note.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's fine.
I believe there was discussion of leaving a date and you decided on you were going to long rest, so the note said, "We're going to go to get kidnapped tomorrow morning. Bye."
Yeah. All right.
Well, she's just going to take a mead couple days and hope they turn back up, I guess.
And yeah, you set off into the forests with two goals: either reach Vesperwood or get kidnapped along the way. Strangely enough, neither of those things happened. And as you were wandering through the forest, you came across some strange sights. You found some trees with runes all over them and heard echoes of crowds and calls to action. You saw strange, ghostly gladiators locked in eternal fights.
Maybe
that no
both.
one seemed able to win, as you watched one of them get brutally disemboweled before standing up and fighting again, completely healed. And then, as you continued along the way, eventually being drawn through the forest towards glory, you saw a strange, somewhat ethereal Colosseum looming up through the trees. And as Chester and Denny, who we kept forgetting about for like 2 sessions,
We didn't forget. He.
were lured in.
We remembered him eventually.
I kind of forgot him.
As the two of you were lured in towards the Colosseum, you all decided to tie yourselves together and were eventually ambushed almost by a group of 3 gladiators. A tiefling, a minotaur, and an elf from Thistlewood. You started to fight them and decided you weren't going to kill them, and then one of them did a lot of damage to Warden, so you all decided, let's fucking kill him. So
You know what's bad,
Chester
like-
turned into a T-Rex and like ate 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to tell Linger about that. This is the first thing that Mira says after Chester becomes regular again. Well, I don't
In
want to
about
say
an hour.
regular.
And
Wait, none of us have been regular.
that was where we had left off, with the gladiators defeated, Chester still a T-Rex, Warden in quite a bit of pain for
Oh,
once.
You're fine.
Oh.
You're fine.
no.
Okay.
Grow up.
Well, questions from me for the
Yes.
DM. Okay. This Colosseum, is it like a known location or is it somehow like a secret Colosseum?
It is not a known location, no. So what had been happening was, for your benefit, because obviously they got all of this during the sessions, they went to speak to the Emperor of Thistlewood, and he told them that people have been disappearing from Thistlewood and from 2 of the nearby towns, Silnator and Vesperwood.
Okay.
No one knew where they were going or what was happening to them, just that they were disappearing, and a lot of them seemed to be kind of going into the forests that surround Thistlewood and the other 2 locations and never returning. The Colosseum wasn't a known entity to that. There were rumors that were being picked up on and would have been explored a lot further if we'd gone to the other 2 locations. But there was a lot of rumors of like hearing the sounds of fighting and cheering, but not being able to find where it was coming from, basically. And what they have seen is a Colosseum that almost seems to be like in between 2 planes, almost like when they were
Ethereal.
walking. When they were walking through the forest, there was no indication that this Colosseum existed, and then purely down to a roll of the dice, because there was random rolls going on, it basically manifested, and like through the next clearing they went through, there was just suddenly a Colosseum in the distance that realistically they would have seen signs of before then.
Okay.
And one thing I wanted to say too is there's been some evidence that this has nothing to do with like the drows taking people and turning them into automatons, like a totally separate thing.
Yes.
Okay.
They have found
Well, besides me,
like-
but
yeah. They have found like gladiator armor with a symbol on it of a chariot wheel. Let me bring up the description of the actual mark. It's like a stylized chariot wheel with 2 crossed spears, which they reckon might be something to do with the chariot.
Could
Maybe.
or they're a very big fan of that old folk song "Rock Me Mama Like a Chariot Will."
Yes.
Either one of those.
It could be me thinking about this song really, really, really hard.
So you guys, you've just finished the fight. Chester's still a T-Rex. There is
Not weird.
Minotaur dripping from his mouth.
Not for the
What would you
first
guys like
time.
to do?
Giggity.
Jesus Christ, Lindsay.
Chad, you see that speed run? We just went through like half the lore of the DM once to
it
tell
was
us.
an elf. That's why the elf's not on the map. The elf isn't on the map because he swallowed the elf whole.
That's the one that I.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Is he still in there, by the way? Should we like do something about that?
I don't think so. I think that we have to just leave that up to Chester's digestive system. That's a really big word for Mira.
Very impressive.
Just stomping around.
He starts smelling Denny, who's since he's
Don't
the
eat,
cook,
don't eat Denny.
he's got all sorts of delicious foods on him.
He does.
Denny, give him whatever he wants. Just don't get
Just
eaten.
throws
But-
some bacon to the T-Rex.
Yeah, then he
I was
does.
about to say, Lindsay would be so mad if you got eaten, and I had to stop myself. Linger would be so upset if you got eaten, and me, I would also be upset. I
It's
so
just
that was
like-
a
when like there's a little kid and like a big dog comes up to them and starts sniffing them and they just freeze and they're side-eyeing the dog. That is Denny with the T-Rex right now.
Denny's scared.
I can't talk and have 2 intelligence, so this is sort of up to you guys what we're doing next.
I thought you would keep your intelligence.
No,
right?
that's for
Oh,
True.
for wild shape. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Polymorph is just you T-Rex now.
like I still have my alignment and I know
Yeah.
that you are friends, but
Hmm. We're just gonna do like the Jurassic World Chris Pratt, like stop, like both hands out.
yeah, he's just stomping around as you guys decide what we're doing.
Yeah. So
I mean, you can see the Colosseum in the distance. You have got rid of what was effectively like these guards. They kind of came towards you and they were like, if you want to enter the Colosseum, you have to prove yourself. And you've just fucked them up. And you
I
can
guess he
just
would
see
have
it
in his
looming in
mind the
distance.
desire to go to the Colosseum still. So maybe he's going to gesture to his back.
sorry,
With his little T-Rex arms.
Chester, I can't quite. Where are you pointing? Your hands are kind of small.
You want to go? Okay. Oh, God,
Okay,
your neck is not
one-
really-
2 words.
First word,
He's only
T.
got like 3 fingers.
We should have got you one of those like inflatable like T-Rex costumes for the stream.
God, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Honestly, if I could
Chester.
put money on anyone to have one of those just lying around, it would be Maywood.
Any what?
Right.
Sorry, I missed that.
One of those like inflatable T-Rex costumes.
Oh.
They're like at every con and Halloween, and
And everything. They're great. Mira's like, okay, Chester, do you want to go this way back to Linger or this way to the Colosseum? Walk the way that you want to go.
I would also prefer a rest if at all possible. Maybe
Oh,
we could
yeah,
like
could we-
maybe we could like wait for Linger. Do you think? I mean, she should be like.
She
probably
should
heading
definitely
straight
be
out,
on her
shouldn't
way, right?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, she's cut to Linger, not on her way.
Yeah, she literally has no information, so it's just like, well,
God.
If only someone can communicate over long distances with
that'd
her.
be cool.
Yeah, I started this
Wow.
session and was like, they'll be fine. Chester has sending. Oh, wait.
They'll be fine.
He's
Chester's
T-Rex.
The only thing he could send is raw, 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 raw.
Well, I can't cast spells.
From memory, you did say in the note, we're going into the forest to get kidnapped. So you do know it's like the forests outside of Thistlewood, but beyond that,
Yeah.
there's not a huge amount of direction.
I think the best we can hope for is that she also goes to get kidnapped in a different spot and is just better at it and is already in the Colosseum waiting.
Jeez.
You start walking and you're like, Rip, do you know where they are? And Rip just clicks and the Colosseum appears. Rip
I think
summons it.
I think we take a break because Warden does need to like roll some hit die.
Okay.
Yes.
You can take a short rest if you want.
I think we should do that while we wait for Chester to become.
All right. He will
Because I
tell
just
you
remembered
a.
the other thing that happened last session.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We'll deal with it in a second. What happens in your short rest, or that you were about to say?
I don't know. What's it normally happens during a short rest? Regular stuff? Regular mirror things?
Okay.
Looking at bath bombs? Wait, hold on. Is Mirror hurt? Mirror's not hurt.
Just because I think
Mirror's
Maywood was
fine.
about to say something, and then I accidentally cut him off.
He was gonna do the Song of Rest, but as a Tyrannosaurus.
Nice.
Oh, so,
I'll allow it.
oh God.
I like it. I like the sound of it. You can have a T-Rex based song of rest.
Yeah, he
So
just
what
sort
does
of.
that-
I knew that was coming.
pulls out a T-Rex sized accordion.
Oh my
Does
God.
Song of Rest automatically get the max on their hit dice?
I was just checking because I forgot I forget actually what it
Just because I
is.
could see a lot
I
of
think you
rolling.
just got an extra.
I've only done it a
D6
few
or something.
times. Bard, Song
I
of
know it does something.
Rest.
I am rolling like crap. So
Friendly
I think you just get an extra
creatures.
D6.
So
Okay,
a D8.
sure.
D8.
Oh,
D8.
D8.
the D8.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause we're level 10, right? Yeah. So an extra D8.
I was about to say no, you're level 4, but that's just Denny.
That's just Denny.
Poor Danny.
He's fine.
All right. Well, I'm almost fully restored then. I only have 5 hit points off, so
Wait, hold on, let's see. Mira's got something. Mira's got
if it's-
nothing.
you have to wait so the update. It's only 5 hit points.
As he reverts back, just a giant elf-smelling burp.
Oh, gross.
Mm.
Grody to the max.
What is just what is like taking up different pieces of his armor, like
Fuck.
pushing the dents back out.
Hmm.
I think it
You could just
was
see, like,
a hell of a fight.
HUD from the docent where it's just like armor integrity 80%, 90%, 95%.
Mira looks at her sorcery points and the lack thereof and is like, ugh.
Docent, what does the scouter say about his power level?
We if you want to be, we can do that. I will go
Yes.
there.
So long as the docent doesn't explode in my head. The scouter.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But yeah, so while you guys are having your long rest, short rest,
Oh, we're
sorry.
having a long rest? Oh, okay.
Short rest, sorry.
Oh, no, we can sleep right here.
Linger, you've spent a lot of time in the library now in Thistlewood.
Mm-hmm.
As
one
we
does.
figured If the party was going to split up, Linger would probably be like, well, we were going to go to the library, so I'll just go to the library and you guys can do the other stuff that you want to do.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just got to let them go off and make their own
Yeah.
mistakes. It's just
Exactly.
what you got to do.
As a mother.
Mm-hmm.
As a mother.
Ervir had been made aware of this and had popped into the library a few times. And kind of that following morning when you wake up, you see the note that's been left by your children.
Such a weird relationship.
And as you're kind of like leaving the building that you're staying in, you can see it is again like disguised as another Thistlewood elf, but wearing the exact same hat Erva's been wearing this entire time, that hat of disguise, just kind of leaning up on a fence post nearby, waiting for Linger, and just strides over and just, I don't know if they said anything to you, but I got a rather interesting magical message. Because Chester sent a very long sending to Erva that cut off halfway through when you guys entered the forest, which was what I suddenly remembered when you were settling down for your rest.
Okay. Well, if by they, I assume you mean my companions, they did leave me a note. As you can see here, Mira's cursive is coming a long way. I'm very proud.
Oh my God.
It's all in crayon.
Little... Yeah. 3 different ones for such a short message. Going to forest to get kidnapped. Love you, bye. Or whatever it is.
2, like the number.
Yeah. But it's very curly, I feel like.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, yeah. Hers is
in
like
in my mind, she's still learning cursive, but she knows everything is very curly. So even the stuff that's not like, she just adds extra curly cues. And it's like, yeah, it's cursive.
Absolutely.
I could be wrong, but in my mind, that's how I see it working.
I feel like maybe there's some wingdings thrown in just for good measure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did she throw in emoji? Are there?
Mira invents emojis.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's our secret code.
Canonical.
Yeah. You can tell here by the kitty cat with the blindfold and the wings that they were planning to get kidnapped. So that's what I have to go on.
I actually can't remember if the sending was to me or to you, but I think it was to me. From my horrible memory, I'm sorry, I've just started a new job in the 2 weeks since our last session. I'm a bit preoccupied. I don't, for a start, I don't think Chester knows how sending works, because it cuts off halfway through. But what I did get was that they have not ventured too far into the forest away from Thistlewood, just to the south.
Okay.
And I believe they were on the way to Vesperwood, and the rest is sort of a guessing game from there, because he was mid-flow, mid-sentence.
Well, all right.
Actually, we're in town, so we should just have normal hours.
Sooner or later, someone will tell them how it works.
Creepy Colosseum.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to.
It's like, note to self.
Yeah. I'll bring
Then
that
it'll
up
be
with
like,
him
me,
later.
Chester, you, Linger.
Let's face it, if sending was real, cavemen speak would be like the meta, you know?
Yes.
No, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Optimal.
I'll just
Egon
go
shop.
get. Well, who am I kidding? I don't have things. I'm ready to go now. I mean, she's got her book. She's probably got like a purse. Well, she's got her bag of holding, so or something. She's got stuff.
What else does one need?
I think she does have
Right.
a bag of holding, because I think you put the...
Yeah, she's
spooky
got
book that you have
that.
yet to open from the magician.
It's a spooky book.
With the runes.
Yes, and she'll get to that.
Eventually.
We should probably long rest her.
Yes.
Let's do
Linger's definitely
that.
on a long rest by now.
She's just been having a luxurious time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's a new haircut.
Oh yeah.
You just can't see because it's under the mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the,
she's ready to go. If you have we'll go south. You said. I'll go south. Are you
yes.
coming with me?
Well, that was going to be my question. I do still have some things to do here in the city. I'm still trying to find the Maze Guild, although I have some promising leads. I can come with you if you wish, or you can go by yourself.
I'm capable. I'll be fine.
Fair enough. This might help, though. And he pulls a little runestone. So the kind of like the bracer that he has, even with like the kind of elven disguise on, you can see he's still got that bracer over the top of the elven clothes, and it's got all these runestones along kind of like the forearm. And he just plucks one out, and he so remember back when I gave you the runestones originally, and you said, was there anything that I could do with those runestones myself? And I said, yes, if I wanted to, I could track you. Here you go.
Over, you're so strange sometimes. And she takes it.
It's not necessarily overt tracking. It's not going to tell you exactly where they are, but it's somewhat like a compass, and it'll point you in the right direction.
You're only vaguely stalking us. Okay.
Only when I needed to. Which was when I sent you out on a mission and I didn't know you.
Listen, I operate in shades of gray all the time. You're fine.
Also, like, if you got in trouble and I didn't know where you were, how could I come and help you?
I guess we'll find out. She taps the gem that she now has from him.
Honestly speaking, just happy someone's thinking about me.
Yeah. Look, she's not really judging him for this. She's
Thistlewood.
just like, okay.
That's how I was here in Thistlewood, waiting for you. I had a lot of trouble at the Runestone Forge and was like, they'll help me kill some fuckers. So I followed it.
Yeah, see? I told you. Shades of gray.
Precisely.
Well, good luck with the maze. I like
Thank you.
this outfit you've got on. It's very blendy.
Me too.
I'm going to go that way. And she points vaguely south, just awkwardly, like,
Best of luck.
Yep, we're done. And she just starts walking.
He just speed walks off in a different direction.
Yeah.
Places to do, things to be.
Yup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you head out into the forests. And you can also as well see signs of them having been through here. There's just like here and there trails of bath bomb dust. Or just like big stompy footprints from Warden. No sign of Chester. Chester knows how to keep his tracks concealed.
Actually, I'm wearing the boots of Elvenkind, so don't.
So just
don't
you're
like
up.
that.
Shoes.
It's
Just
mostly
occasionally see
glitter.
branches that have been decimated from Warden walking through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know, her stride is very like straight backed and kind of a blend of Wicked Witch of the West and Agatha with just her power walking.
I love that.
I'm in love with the body language that Agatha has, by the way.
It's a great
Just
show.
freaking in
I
love
loved
with
it.
that body language. Yeah.
So good.
On my list.
Yeah, same.
Too many things to watch.
That body language is beautiful. Just all of the gestures.
But yeah, you walk with purpose through the forest.
Mhm.
And a
this
swishy
is-
coat, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. This is effectively like kind of a few hours earlier, so kind of like you're on their trail for a while, and as you kind of like you look down at the rune stone, and the rune that's on it almost seems to kind of shift into like a compass needle and move, like twist across the face of this. It's like a small round glass bead, effectively, with a handle that just sits on top.
Is it small enough that Rip could hold it and he could just like, if she needs to veer one way, he goes and presses on one horn, and if she needs to go another one, he walks over and just
Oh my god, he's ratatouilleing her.
a little bit.
It's just big enough that he kind of has to hold it with, like, he doesn't need two hands, but it's slightly too big for one of his hands.
Yeah.
So he's just like sitting there holding it in two hands and just tilting and leaning against the horse.
Yeah. It's so that she doesn't have to break her stride. So she can keep that confident power walk, and he just like helps her adjust a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's part of a whole system of being an intimidating wizard that she's worked
And
out.
also she can read while she walks if she wants, because he is watching and directing.
Oh, then she absolutely is. Hey, you know that book you just mentioned?
Guess what's getting open? Oh Lord. Oh.
We're in the
You opening the
woods.
book?
There's nobody around that she might accidentally hurt. I'm opening the book.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Okay.
Take it from my hands.
I mean, she'll
We
pause
hear
and look
screams
around
in the
and
distance.
go, it's only nature, so we're good.
It
Open
is
the book.
indeed. I just need to jump back to my notes for that book then. Just give me 1 minute. There we go, I'd minimized the whole folder for the Sleeping Gardens, because I was like, we're not in the Sleeping Gardens anymore, I'm not going to need it.
Also, I'll be right back, but I will be listening.
Oh, listening.
Excellent. Which fucking tower was he in? Why can I not remember? He wasn't the Animus Tower? Oh, he was the Corpus Tower, that's why. Surely. Yes. Of course, the Corpus Tower. Right. So, just to remind you then, as you kind of pull out this book, the runes kind of along the spine are very subtle, very easily overlooked and kind of blend in with the aged leather. Can you... Oh wait, no, someone did, I think, pass the Arcana check originally, so Linger would remember.
Yeah.
They are very ancient runes. But from memory, between yourself and Mura, you did decipher them. The first rune was kind of like a representation of soul. The second was binding. The third was control. The fourth was secrecy. And the fifth was power. And from memory, we had deciphered the runes, but not necessarily the exact purpose. So, can you give me a very quick Arcana check?
I'm going to add a thing. Where are they?
Yeah, because that
I'll find
13 would not do it.
Hold on. We'll do this and then I'll find the thing. I have one inspiration. I think I'll use that if that's okay.
Go for it. Go for it.
That's just silly. Okay.
Yeah,
how about a 26 instead?
Yeah, 26 will do it. Either way, even if it had worked, I don't know if it would have affected Linger anyway. But as you kind of turn the book over in your hand, you do realize the runes themselves also constitute like a magical trap, basically. As you're kind of just like turning the book around in your hands. And I'll say we'll allow the 26 to kind of carry over into it, as Linger just kind of like taps the runes in a specific order with... You do have a wand, don't you? Or am I imagining things?
Yeah. She has many.
Yes,
but yeah, she's got the... Yeah, and
Yes.
she's got the wicked cool one inside the staff.
Oh yeah, the wicked cool. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, you don't even need to do the... Yeah, you tap it with... the wizard's old wand,
like
which
Simon.
is now Linger's wand. And you gradually realize, as you are kind of disarming this magical trap and start kind of flicking through the pages and seeing some of the incantations on the pages, you realize what happened to the Dean. You realize why he seems to be in this sort of semi-failed lich state and didn't quite seem to be powerful enough. and you realize what was wrong with the enchantment that was written in the room where he tried to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
With the process that you were creating, it was designed to try and bypass the need for souls.
Mm-hmm.
This book, if someone opens it without disarming the trap, it's entirely likely their soul might be sucked into this book. And as you turn through the pages, you can see some of the students that you had fought on your way up, that when you killed them and they just kind of had these blank faces that vanished, their faces are on the pages of this book. And every single one of those students that you saw him taking control of is shown inside that book.
I see.
That's how there were so many copies of him.
Book of Souls.
Book. Cool. She's going to start trying to figure out how to get those souls out of the book, because that wasn't what she was trying to accomplish to begin with, and thinks it's kind of icky.
Okay.
You can ask souls to do stuff, but you shouldn't make souls do stuff.
Absolutely. But yes, as you're kind of flicking through, you immediately, like, no roll required, you just immediately piece together, like, this was basically the source of his power, and it's entirely possible, because you would have seen as well, there was, in that room, there was kind of like a lectern that was empty, but it looked like it had been disturbed in a bit of a hurry. If the book hadn't been concealed beneath that part of the floor that the book was concealed in, you get the sense that if it had been left open in the lectern, that's potentially where he kind of emerges from if he needs to rebuild himself after being killed like a lich.
Oh, so we definitely need to take care of this. Okay. Well, it's magic, so it's not going to be easy. So that is going to be something that she's working on.
Yes.
She's going to pop over to the side of the road for a brief break, just to jot a note to Syldaris real quick, just to give him a quick little update on what she's found and ask for any recommendations that he might have on ensuring that the magician doesn't reconstitute before she can take care of the book. She needs to free the souls and stop him at the same time. Using souls for lichdom is so passe.
Yeah. You kind of immediately get a response back and be like, top tip number 1, only have the book open for a short period of time. Do not leave it open long enough for him to reform. Close it when you don't need it.
Yeah, and that's a habit anyway.
Yeah.
Don't. Exactly. That's bad for the binding and stuff, to just leave the book open.
But yeah, you get the sense it would have been a bad time if, like, the book may be able to potentially open itself, like if it had just been left on the lectern. Would have been a bad time if he did that under the floor. Okay. Like, out in the open, he would have been fine. Inside your bag of holding, again, not really the best time for him to be reforming inside your bag. But, like, say, for example, you were to leave the book on the side of your bed while you sleep for 8 hours, you might wake up to see the book open and one of the souls missing.
Okay, so in that case, she's, for now, going to carry her spell book and put that book inside the holster that she usually has her book in, and also wrap her tail around it.
Okay.
To ensure that it stays closed. And then we'll just go ahead and say that going forward, so that it's known at night, even though this probably won't prevent magic shenanigans too much. She doesn't really sleep, but she can put a belt around it and sit on it.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have to go to bed. She can just hurt. She'll just put her pert little butt right on it. You're welcome, magician.
Jokes like a reform right under that.
No. Thing. Like you're sitting on an egg.
Yeah, waiting for the magician to birth from the book, just sat on it, keeping it warm.
Oh man.
Well, hopefully keeping it closed was the ultimate
No, I know.
goal there.
Nor was it.
As you kind of like secure the book, you feel Rip suddenly kind of like give you the signal to stop walking. And he just like hangs down from the horns and shows you the rune stone. And the arrow is just spinning.
Okay.
That seems to be a problem.
So either
We're everywhere.
they're everywhere. They've
Awesome.
gone beyond some sort of veil. There's
Well.
magic, or I mean, like it could be. It doesn't have to. She's not
Absolutely.
necessarily like they've stepped into another plane, but
No, I
there's
mean,
like
the thought
witchy
would absolutely be
perimeters,
there, though.
people.
There's magic in that.
There could be a salt circle somewhere they just step through.
Yeah.
Like there's options. I'm not immediately metaing to a plane.
Would you like to roll a d10?
Yeah, I'll do that.
No, says Lindsay, not
Go
really.
nowhere.
Just gonna sit here and study.
I always thought on Supernatural they should put salt in a hula hoop, and then that
There
way
you
they could
go.
just hula their way to safety.
Oh, that's like
That
such a
would
good
be
idea, actually.
fantastic.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Oh my god, I feel like I die.
Yeah, as you're kind of like looking at this glass bead that Rip is holding, you kind of hear rustling from the bushes. And 2 people in like full gladiator armor carrying spears kind of step out from the bushes. And they... Halt! You walk the path of glory. You must prove your worthiness, and just immediately take up fighting stances with the spears. Would you like to roll initiative?
No, Linger's gonna. Oh wait, why am I worried about this?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say
I
they just stepped
kinda
out of the
wouldn't.
woods to like basically Maleficent is standing there like you're sure you
Linger's
want to.
not in a super
Linger-
happy mood right now, finding out that the wizard could come
Linger-
back, and these guys are like, "We gon' fight."
Yeah, and
Linger's
she
like,
already
"Yes,
has she already has her spell book in her hand because the other book she just raises an eyebrow.
Oh my
And
god, I
just
guess.
very-
It's Linger.
And like even Rip like scratches his head on top of her head, and we roll initiative, she just kind of looks down at herself, her scary book, her big scary staff, her midnight blue lace dress, looks back at them, and she's just like, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?"
You must prove your worthiness. Give me a quick perception check.
Okay.
Oh my god, says Linger. Fucking inconvenient.
Yeah, she's kind of in the middle
I'm
of
trying
something.
to find my kids.
13.
13. So you can see one of them. As Linger's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" There is a brief moment where they like kind of go to say something, or like a brief look of doubt, and then you see they're kind of wearing like no shirt or armor kind of on their torso, just that kind of like strap across the body armor. And you can see kind of burned right into the center of their chest is this symbol of this spoked chariot wheel with crossed spears, and it glows very subtly right before they then seem to change their mind and tell you must prove your worth.
Oh, I think that means I can't kill you. You're being compelled.
That didn't stop Mura and the T-Rex.
Well, she doesn't know that. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll do a quick little initiative here. I say quick. Maybe she'll be surprised. Who knows? Who knows?
They were pretty tough, the ones we fought.
They were.
Well, she's not. Hopefully,
Those
she
were
just
also a
seems to.
specific encounter directly in front of the Colosseum.
Okay.
So a 16. Hopefully, she can just prove herself, and they'll be like, "Yes, that hurt. You may proceed."
Owie! Stop.
Yeah.
Where's their dex?
That was unpleasant, and we did not like it.
Please no. One of them got a 6. The other one, a 9.
Okay. And they're standing together, yeah?
Yep. There's like 5 feet between them. We'll just do this one all kind of theater of the mind because it makes it a little easier. They are about 30 feet from you, just threatening distance away, but able to close it if they wanted to. Little do they know, Linger doesn't need to close the distance.
Yeah. Sorry, I just looking at the spells. Let's see.
Not a problem. Let's have a look. That was the city.
Yeah, we'll just do a simple shatter. Just a little.
Okay.
Just a little.
There we go. That's the stats they use. Shatter is a dex save or a con save?
So it's going to be a 21 con save. Con save 21. And I'm doing it at level 3.
I actually don't think it's possible for them to get 21. Oh no, they have a +2 to their con, so it's
anything
possible.
is possible.
Yeah.
In theory.
If you believe hard enough in the power of the chariot, one of them will get a 5, and the other an 18.
Okay.
They tried their best.
They did.
As one
And
of
I'm
them's
proud
like,
of.
yes, an 18, I'm victorious!
All right. So they're going to take 17 points of thunder damage as she just kind of takes her staff and just not even dramatically, just like kind of over it already, just like taps it against the ground.
17.
Just boop.
They are both
And then
immediately bloodied down to half health. As they just prove your worth.
yeah.
I feel like that should prove
Wilhelm
it.
screams.
Yeah. She just kind of like, so is that good? Do we need to continue?
Is that Linger's turn, or is that contingent on them responding?
Yeah, I mean, she tapped the ground, said her thing. Let's see. Rip is going to take his, like, lift his mask just a little bit so the horror beneath, you know, just a little spooky action, and then that's,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to call that an intimidation. I'm just going to roll for him, just for me. It doesn't have to be official.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Intimidation check.
Hold on. What happened? I don't want to. No, I don't want 3 of them. How do I make them go down? No.
Victory! You can't. You only.
No, like, I just want 1d20. There we go.
I don't remember. There was a way.
Yeah, okay. He does an average job.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them looks kind of spooked.
There we go.
But, like,
Good.
unsettled.
Unsettled. And very
they're more
hurt.
terrified of Linger right now.
Yeah.
You watch as that first one who spoke with this like brand basically on their chest, and Linger would immediately pick up on this as well. It's like this magic symbol, so it's not like it's been necessarily physically branded on, but it's like a magical branding. It is there. It looks like it has been magically seared into flesh. And you watch as it glows again, and they just stand up and, not yet. In this arena we fight to the death, and just charges at Linger with a spear.
Okay,
Actually,
buddy, your funeral.
No, he's gonna charge at you. He's gonna say, would you throw it from a distance? But no, he's just found out that if he stands 30 feet away, she might kill him. So he's gonna try and get in close instead and see if that's less kill zone. I must prepare you for the honor of the games, he shouts as he stabs in towards you with a spear. The first one is a 8 to hit.
No.
And the second one's an 8. That's double 6s.
But surprisingly, no, he doesn't hit her. She is
Just,
she
like,
is pretty glass
tapping
cannon.
with the staff.
Yeah.
As he just,
She's just like,
won't you die?
I don't know if you see the flaw in your logic. If I kill you, how are you going to lead me back to the...
Buddy, says Linger. That is the vibe that Linger just said, was just, buddy.
As the other one runs in, for glory and honor, for the games, with a 10.
Nope.
And a dirty
Buddy.
20, 18 plus
Yeah.
2.
That'll do.
These poor buddies. Okay, that's 8 points of piercing damage as he stabs in with the spear.
Okay.
That's
She
a little
just
better.
doesn't like that.
But these were ones that could show up repeatedly as a random encounter, so they're not quite as buff as the Colosseum guards.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Oh.
So let's
Because
see.
you could potentially have had them multiple times in a row, and that would have been horrible.
Wow,
but
so glad that we just circumvented that somehow.
Yeah. That'll end his turn. This one is like bit bigger, bit beefier, and kind of like full armor, with that kind of like... Oh god, what were their names? I used to know names of different types of gladiator, but the ones with the nets that have like that kind of cage mask.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Thank you. I knew you would.
Well, I don't know the names, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know the mask. You know the helmet.
I think they were netizens.
Sorry?
Netizens of the realm.
They are.
I'm on it.
But yeah, that
You've
one has
activated
come,
him.
which means it's back to Linger.
Oh, I need the Russell
Yeah.
Crowe movie. Okay. Thanks.
I don't want to waste a high level spell on these guys. I'm just... Since there's two of them. Oh, can't do that. Well. Yeah, we're just going to do Shatter again. She'll just put it behind them so that it doesn't hit her or rip. Eh.
Okay,
And-
another 2 con saves.
Yeah.
8, 12.
Okay. I'll just do it at level 2 this time. For 19.
More damage on that one.
I know. And since the other one bloodied him, I'm hoping this just...
Yeah. They just come charging in, screaming about the glory of the games. And now
She's like dipping. She's like,
They
this
are-
isn't logical.
missed.
She
There's
does.
not much left of them as they both die. Horribly
Yeah.
and painfully exploded by the shatter.
She prestos her clothes clean,
Rip just...
wipes her face off. All right, which way is it still spinning?
Yes.
Rip holds the thing out so she can see.
It is
If only
still
I
spinning,
had a guide, she kicks at a lump of meat.
Yeah, you continue on through.
Just
I hate this game so much. If only I had a guide, kicks a lump of meat.
Would Linger just kind of carry on walking through the forest, or would you
I
see
mean,
if there's
she-
like anything else you can potentially do? Because
Well,
obviously,
I
walking
mean-
through the forest, you're a bit blind now.
Yeah, I was gonna say she knows there's something in this general vicinity that's got to do with her friends because the thing is spinning. Something is obviously here and interfering with her ability to do that. So maybe she needs to take 5 and just have like a good think about it.
Okay.
Just an Arcana check
Yeah, absolutely.
or
I was just about to say, give me an Arcana check if you wanted to go down that
Yeah.
route of Arcana checking, which I know Linger often does.
yeah.
It's almost
A
like intelligence is her
27.
best. Fuck me.
A7. Okay, Linger.
Yeah, there's very much interference. It's not like the sort of like, you've arrived at your destination type spinning. It's the, where the fuck they go type interference. I'll say with a 27, given Linger's knowledge of kind of other aspects of magic that maybe Urvir and the Runestone Forge don't know about, coupled with the research you guys picked up in the Tower's tower and the Wizard's tower, where they'd both been looking into other planes of existence, I'll say Linger can, like, magically tinker with the enchantment on the bead. It's like, you know, like a compass kind of stops working and you just start kind of tinkering with it to adjust it, basically. Which isn't technically how compasses work, I know, but you know what I mean. Like an actual
this is magic,
compass, and now you're fixing it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's magic. She's moving the threads of the weave.
It's Bulma and the Dragon Radar. She's recalibrating.
Yeah,
now I understand
that exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Good job picking a reference that Lindsay knew, Mitch.
Exactly. Well, that's why I tried to avoid it the first time. What we got was broken compass, which does work. But yes, you start kind of tinkering with the magic of the enchantment itself, and just the vibe that Linger is picking up in the woods. And just kind of coupling that with, Linger knows, like, the magical auras of her friends by now. Like, it is one of those things, if you're scrying on someone or teleporting to someone, where it's like, oh, are you teleporting to someone or something you know? In my mind, that's because people and places and things have, like, a magic aura. Even if they're not magical themselves, they just have, like, a magical tether that people can lock onto it, like their coordinates.
Yeah, she knows exactly how many metachlorians Amira has.
Just the color of my energy.
Maybe toss a little detect magic on top of that. She's doing a lot of things right now.
Exactly. And I'll say with the pair of those, after probably like 10, 20 minutes of tinkering, which is probably getting close to almost entirely too many minutes of tinkering, like almost on the edge of Linger's like, maybe we look at something else. We'll see.
Yeah.
The spinning stops and almost starts to, like, it's almost like it's stabilized, and it's not like it's necessarily pointing you in a specific way or direction, but you get the feeling now where it's like it's kind of locked onto them, and it's, rather than solely drawing you to them, it's almost like it's pulling them to you and you to them. Like it's anchoring onto whatever shenanigans are going on.
Oh, this is fantastic. You're going to be so much more handy.
And you start following the compass. But you guys, opposite the Colosseum, you've had your short rest. You are recovering. And you can obviously see this Colosseum before you, frantically scrolls down through notes. We'd got to here last time, but we'd stopped just before things. Where are my session notes?
I'm back,
Vanishing
sorry.
Path. Here we go. Hello.
Jay, all of a sudden I heard, and I wanted to make sure he hadn't fallen off the bed or died. So, all good. He just was asleep and moved the wrong way.
Of course. But, yes, the other four of you, Denny's there.
Oh, I was like, there's only three of us, bitch. Damn it.
The Colosseum now looms before you. You can see these kind of stone walls etched with these glowing runes that are kind of pulsing faintly with each gust of wind through the forest, you can see these massive gates at the entrance that are just slightly ajar, but there is this dark interior beyond that's almost like obscured by swirling mist. But you can hear just these faint echoes of cheering, clashing steel just emanating from within the Colosseum, and they just get louder and louder the closer you get, almost like the Colosseum itself knows you're there and is like amplifying these sounds to entice you in. You guys, if you want, you can do some checks. I've got some stuff here if you want.
I love checks.
Arcana, religion, perception, history, depending on what you pick. I've got some different stuff that you might find. So obviously, like, the Arcana or religion is like one aspect, perception is a different, and history is different as well.
I'd love to do a perception check. I'm not good at anything else. Probably not good at this either. But I'm proficient. 14 could be worse. Could be a lot better. Does it. Look at that, Mira. You just did it.
Chester and Warden, are you guys doing a specific check?
I actually will take history just because, unless Warden has a good history. I mean, I have a +1, which I assume is better than.
So what was it? It was a history. What?
So Chester's doing history. You can do Arcana or religion, and I think the docent is proficient in both of those.
Oh yeah, I have the docent help.
Then I'll take the one you're not proficient in.
The docent has a +7 to Arcana and history, I think.
Not too bad.
I'll do Arcana if you want to do history.
We did roll for which one it was proficient in, and I think it was whichever one wasn't covered by the party. But for now, while I try and remember, we can say it just has all 4 of them, because that's on me for not putting it into the item.
Idiot. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. That was
I can roll
Crybaby.
Arcana.
Cool.
So yeah. Do I roll the docent or?
The docent has a +7, so it'll be a d20 +7.
The docent rolls itself. The docent is
so
proficient
you
in rolling.
Can roll for it, but just like d20 +7.
Yeah.
17.
We all passed.
Wow.
Well, each one had a different threshold, but you do all pass.
We don't. Oh, I was gonna say, so we don't know.
Yes, the Arcana was a 15, the Perception was a 14, and the History was a 16. So you all nailed it.
Oh wow!
So we'll go in order alphabetically because that's the order they are on my list. Which means we're starting with Warden.
All right.
Ooh.
You're kind of like looking over the ruins of the Colosseum, and you're just getting like this readout on the docent as it's just like slowly analyzing. You see like analyzing this little progress bar. The runes around the Colosseum are quite ancient glyphs, and you also see as well, it's almost like it's looking through your memories as well to see if you can like match it to anything. And it's not in like a sinister way, it's like a, would you like me to check and see if you have any matches in your memory?
Very. He thinks so. He's like, very well.
No, but also yes.
It starts pulling up images of glyphs that you use to manipulate the tower and make it move around locations, as well as bringing up the binding along the spine of the runes on the binding of the book that Linger picked up in the Magician's Tower, where it had those 5 runes that her and Mura had looked over. The runes around the Colosseum are very much tied to like combat, kind of like inciting this urge to fight, as well as kind of planar binding to move the Colosseum around or bind it to a specific place. But you also see there are some other markings as well. And you get the idea as you're kind of looking through the readout in the docent. You get the idea that some of these other glyphs that don't match anything that you've seen from like the tower and the book but kind of heard Mura, mostly Linger, talk about previously.
I was gonna say.
These kind of like other markings almost seem like once a combatant has entered an arena, they cannot leave until something is satisfied. But you do get the idea it's also like the people marked with the Chariot symbol, so like whether or not they can freely leave the Colosseum, you don't know, but you get the idea that like if they go into a fight in a ring or anything like that, they cannot leave until something has been satisfied, whether it's the specifics of that particular fight or someone has to die, you don't know. But it's this idea of like, you will enter, you will get criteria, and you cannot leave until those criteria are met. With the perception check, which is Mura, you can see faint signs of recent struggle. There's drag marks, there are broken weapons, shattered weapons, there are scraps of armor with the Chariot symbol littered
Forgotten weapons even.
across the ground near the entrance.
Wow, there's a lot of broken weapons around here.
And Chester,
I'm helping.
with the history check, there's just something about the Colosseum and the way it looks that doesn't quite sit right in your head. And this has happened a few times now, actually, funnily enough, where Chester has gone, what do I know about this? And just starts kind of thinking back to stories and songs and poems that he's come across in his time as a bard or as part of the band and meeting with other bands, hearing their songs. And your memory is cast back to an elven troupe, and one of the songs they had, this kind of like legend, whether or not it was true, whether it was rumor, no one really knew, but it was like elven song legend passed down over thousands of years. And they sung about this place of eternal trial that was used by an ancient and powerful force to test only the bravest and most elite elven warriors. And you get the idea, whether or not it was necessarily the Chariot to begin with, it's entirely possible he has commandeered this legendary place of trial that used to exist, if this is the place. If it's the place. But it certainly seems to like match this idea. So it could be like created to copy it, or it could be like the sun god and his followers have managed to find it and it's been given to or taken by the Chariot.
Commandeered.
Precisely.
All right, that's interesting.
As for once, the three of you pick up on stuff without Linger's help.
What a fucking miracle, honestly.
Normally it's like one or two of you are just stood on the side like, so, what do you guys see? And Linger's like, well, here, all three of you are like, okay, so.
We're like, we've locked in, as the kids would say.
So proud.
These three morons locked in.
Warden's docent just has like a YouTube video up in the corner that's telling him everything he needs to know.
Oh my god, Warden watches YouTube.
Okay.
Warden's docent watches YouTube.
Okay, so according to this very helpful Indian man,
Stop.
there's always some guy from India who has like a solution to like your most like obscure problems.
It's
Absolutely.
true.
And those are
Like-
the ones that don't start with 15 minutes of, okay, so when
Hey,
I was
guys.
younger, right, I used to go to my granddad's cabin in the woods, and we just had the best time. Like,
Versus-
shut the fuck up. I just want to
Versus
know.
just some saint in New Delhi who
Yeah.
is like, hey guys, this is what you need to do, go here, and that should fix your problem. Like, he's not stretching out to 10 minutes.
No.
He's just making it as long as
He's
he needs
just
to
being
be.
helpful.
Exactly. This stream goes out to those
Truly.
guys.
What a chat.
Guys, all of you out there who do these sorts of videos, I just want
Thank
you to
you.
know that if you go to wraithenergy.com and you use code
Go ahead, do this with a straight face.
use code PHN at checkout and you'll get 10% off.
That's our gift to you, our little thank
It
you.
is. It's us giving back to you. Us
Yeah.
selflessly giving back to your selfless
Oh my
acts.
fucking god.
But yeah, as you guys are all granted knowledge for once without Linger's assistance, what would you guys like to do? Are you distributing
it's so
the
weird
knowledge to
that
each other?
100%. Because like it's so weird that we picked up on this. Like,
bound to happen sooner or later. I feel like.
I guess you're not wrong.
It's like monkeys on typewriters. Eventually, they're going to type the works of, Shakespeare or whatever. Okay, so, well, I guess we shouldn't go in without Linger. Period. Full stop. End of sentence.
Wait, hold on. Repeat that. What'd you say?
I just think if we found the right place, this would explain the disappearances. Also has a chariot. Probably in there. We're probably gonna have to fight him and kill him. So we wait for Linger. I think. You know what I could do? I could send her a message.
Oh, okay,
let her know we're sort of out front, waiting for her to come, and then we can go in there and save the day, as it would.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea, Chester. You're really
been like, we gotta go in the Colosseum. Yeah. Now he's like, I'm scared. Wait for Linger.
Well,
mommy.
Do they feel anything from the little altar find a friend? Because you said like it draws both ways, so I don't know if they're like feeling a tug.
Yeah, can all of you three give me a perception check?
Ooh, a tug
She's
check.
still figuring out Denny's aura.
Yeah.
Lucky 7.
I can give
He's just cooking up breakfast.
natural 1.
It's always breakfast. No matter what time of day it is, he's cooking breakfast for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, we should have just called him Waffle House instead.
Hey guys,
I guess it doesn't.
I'll say Warden, even with a 10, just because you've had similar feelings before. Shortly after you went through your shit with the tower, when you still thought he was a good guy, kind of just after you'd had like all the modifications made and you were working for him, basically. And you just always kind of had that like lingering sense in the back of your mind, like someone was watching you, yeah? You're not entirely sure why, but very similar feeling picks up again, but it's less that like cold feeling of I'm being watched and more like someone is looking for me that I would like to be looking for me, as opposed to just someone's watching my every move and this is really disconcerting.
Yeah, he'll kind of like, I guess as they're kind of sitting there, he'll kind of like start like looking around, like more so than usual.
Okay.
What's wrong, Lord?
Around a lot.
I sense something.
You seen something? Timmy?
What do you see?
Well,
There is a Colosseum over there, so is that could be what you're sensing?
No, it's
more.
And at this point, Linger, can you roll an Arcana check for me?
I suppose. You scroll all the way back up.
Just because it's like, with this, you're almost like constantly pouring magic into it to like reset it, re-anchor it.
Yeah. 22.
I'm like Leia's being reached out to Luke.
Unable to be surprised, you can hear fair distance away, kind of back the way you came, like rustling, twig snapping, like something is approaching.
Yeah, Warden has a feeling that it's not bad, but he's still gonna like keep a hand on his sword and kind of stand up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you will see Warden stand up and look.
Why you got your sword? Why you got the sword
like
on the hand? Wait.
Okay. Safe.
Violently in the direction.
I'm there. You're making me nervous. You're making me nervous, Warden.
All right. Well, this is not going to cost me anything to try. He's going to point in that direction that Warden is looking and cast a message. Linger, is that you?
Yeah, Linger, the message comes through kind of like a little bit of static almost, but you do hear the message come through.
Um,
And you do remember that you
I
can
just,
apply.
yeah, no, I just got 2 pings right when I was about to say something. My brain just went, because I'm
they were
out
for
of
me. I apologize.
No, I'm out of Adderall, so it doesn't take much.
Food.
Yeah. Chester, yes, I'm on my way. Apparently going the right direction. There seems to be some interference. Where are you exactly? Like, she knows that there's like a certain distance that the spell works, and she's obviously headed in the right direction, but I'm guessing she doesn't like see a Colosseum or see.
Not quite yet, but the arrow is pointing in a very specific direction now. It was kind of like wavering before, and it's just fixed itself.
I'll be there in a minute, I think, assuming that we.
You know what?
Maybe.
Chester's gonna use his orb of direction that he's never used.
Oh.
Yeah, which tells me which way is north. Which way is north? Yes. And then gonna point to where he pointed, and do the never eat shredded wheat, and say, "We are this direction from you."
I will say soggy waffle, but okay.
I will say you look at the orb of direction, and it's currently just spinning.
Well, shit. Linger, I have an orb of direction that tells me which way is north, and it's saying every way it is currently north. So that is not very helpful. You can reply to this message.
Well, just keep sending messages. I'll just keep sending messages as long as it's hitting me. I'm walking in the right direction.
I'll blow my vuvuzela as well, which is a very loud instrument.
Exciting.
Yay, says Linger.
Maybe it's a very magical vuvuzela. Maybe it cuts through some of the interference.
Yeah. As a side note, did you know that sending has the same number of word limit that message does?
Oh.
Just as
say
she's
that
walking.
Custer?
Yeah, just as she's going. Just, hey, did you know? Fun
Word
fact.
limit?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that
I didn't
phrase.
think so.
Word limit. I mean, I know what both of those words mean. They just don't seem to go together.
Yeah. It only has the capacity to carry 25 words.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I'm working on expanding it, but
It doesn't make sense to me, but all right, I'll take you.
Oh my god,
take your
super
word
message. Super sending.
Super sending.
9th level sending.
You send a whole...
In this essay, I will.
Casting sending should give you like 5 extra words, though.
Just a powerful wizard with like his like robes like torn off of his chest, muscles rippling in the storm as he yells, I cast 9th level sending, and lightning strikes his palm.
This is my dissertation. I shall defend my thesis now. Directly into your fucking mind.
Yeah.
As you are kind of throwing these back and forth, eventually, Warden, the kind of rustling and snapping of twigs gets louder. You see the outline and shape of Linger in kind of like the trees, and Linger, you just slowly approach this clearing. And as you kind of like adjust to the light, because it is almost like the trees suddenly vanish, which they shouldn't. Okay. But you know there's some weird shenanigans going on anyway. You adjust, you can see this clearing, 2 dead bodies just kind of like tossed around, giant dinosaur footprints on the floor, and just a little bit across the way, the 4 of them in front of this massive Colosseum. And we're going to go for
it.
All right. Ooh! Reunion!
Yeah. Linger's walked into the site of the T-Rex massacre.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be back in 10 minutes because I also got to pee. And I want some more of my pumpkin pie because I'm very hungry and I keep forgetting to eat it because I'm too busy talking, listening to you guys.
Pumpkin pie would be right so great.
I wonder if it's...
She's looking at like this, like she's never seen them before in her life.
Oh no, I was yawning and looking at something.
Oh,
We're back.
Yeah, I don't eat little Debbie's.
I normally
Big
don't
Debbie's.
either. Just
Yeah.
Big Debbie's.
Big, thick Debbie's.
I don't either, but I've been influenced by the internet, and I got them, and Jay convinced me to freeze them, and they're really good. Yeah, thick Debbie's. Jay convinced me to freeze them, and they're really good frozen. So,
Okay.
highly recommend these little Debbie Christmas trees. They're just cake. It's sponsor us, little Debbie.
I didn't sit down with that.
Right.
So, you guys see Linger emerge from the trees with Rip sitting on top of her head, just holding a glass bead and staring intently at it.
Yay!
How do we know you're the real Linger, though? Say something only the real Linger would say. How about?
Mm-hmm.
She just raises her eyebrow. And
Oh, it's her.
It's definitely her.
Linger.
Say something only Linger would say. Says nothing. It's her.
We got it.
All right. I guess they fill her in on what has happened to them so far.
And Chester was a T-Rex.
Oh, hey, I missed that. I bet it was lovely.
A lot of fun, yeah.
He ate a whole person.
I did
It was
eat an
great,
elf.
it was
Yeah.
fine, it wasn't scary, says Denny.
Oh, on the note of dead people, speaking of, maybe we talk to one of these dead uns here before we head into the Colosseum. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And they won't know it's you because you were a T-Rex.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think? Tiefling or Minotaur? I feel like Tiefling potentially more, let's say, verbose. To use
I
a
think
fun
so,
word.
too.
We just
A
get
little
up
bit.
there. We just get up there and like, ooh, sorry, you technically qualified as a T-Rex, so we're gonna need you in that form for this.
All right.
I mean, okay.
I wasn't gonna, but all right. I could do it one more time. All right, yeah, he's gonna cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
I'm here, but I have to handle.
Do Warden and Mira have any questions? I had like 4 thoughts, and Lindsay's got a good 5th one.
I have
But
no
maybe
thoughts.
Maybe there's better questions. I don't know. It's always hard coming up with 5 for the spell. It's the hardest part of the spell. 5 questions. We'll go with these 5. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I think of any.
Yeah.
that was the only extra one I could come up with.
No, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay. So you cast Speak with Dead, and there is that brief moment where nothing happens before the tiefling just slowly and sits back up to look at you.
Hello there.
The head just slowly
Pleasure,
cocks.
pleasure.
Here resists the urge to ask how he is.
I have 5 questions for you. Question the first. What trials will we face in the Colosseum?
That's a good one.
That is a very good one. The trials of the Colosseum are designed to test you. Let me open my notes. They're not working properly right now.
I think the trials of the Colosseum are designed to test you is the best answer.
I
Like,
thought you were just going to say the trials of the Colosseum and just leave it at that.
It is filler right now.
Thank you. I understand.
Basically.
Give me the basically. The TLDR.
Where the fuck is my note about? Because I have them for me for the specific point when I need them. They vary. Depends on the person. Depends on how you need to prove yourself. Sometimes it can be fight to the death. Gladiator versus gladiator in glorious combat. Others, trial of the beast.
Ooh.
None have reached the champion's trial. That's it, that's all I got.
Okay.
You,
I'm trying to think
sisters be like, you don't have anything else?
I'm trying to think if that answers any of the other ones.
I got nothing more.
I ain't got nothing.
That's all.
Listen, I've died. I'm trying to go to the next place. My sciatica's acting up. Like, what do you want from me?
Okay, let me go with where do we find
tiefling affliction?
Very tiefling.
Sorry, yes, you were saying. You're
so sorry.
Yep. Where do we find the entity that controls the Colosseum? Controls.
Inside the Colosseum.
Not very specific. Okay.
That's it.
If you could be more specific in your answers going forward, that would be appreciated.
I don't know, man. You've seen Gladiator.
I want to see Gladiator too, by the way.
I feel like 4, we probably know the answer. So I'll try. What?
Once in.
I see. Yeah, you got to complete the trials, probably is the answer. What, if any, are the Chariot's weaknesses?
He has none.
Shit.
Well, that's not true. Everybody has a weakness. Like
Hubris.
mine is
His butthole.
See, everybody, Mitch, we're gonna ban you. Everybody has a weakness. Like mine is Mirror just stops talking. It just fades off. Brain, bing bong.
I think maybe, so we don't need to know if he's taking control because he sort of answered it there. And then once you enter, how do you leave? We could probably assume. So I kind of need some more questions. So he's going to pull everyone's side. All right. What are some other questions we could ask this guy?
Just wait here.
Yeah, just give us a second.
It's a 10 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes. Yeah, we got 10 minutes. Hold your horses.
Just humming to himself in the background.
Oh, we could ask him what's his number one tip for completing the challenge of the Colosseum.
Yeah. Oh well, he said that there are multiple
and it'll depend,
tiers, right? Maybe we could ask him about those.
Like how many tiers?
Yeah. Like how many?
Sure.
Because we should know that before we go in, because some of us might need to take a nap for 8 hours.
True. How many? Hello again. How many levels of trials will we face?
No, man. Fuck. It depends on how you prove yourself in each trial.
All right. Okay.
There are tests to prove yourself to the Chariot. None have survived the second.
Oh, okay. I did think of one, maybe more question. We could ask him if the Chariot has anyone super powerful working with him in this endeavor.
It's a good idea.
Because maybe he's got one of the other Terra folk.
That's good thinking.
All right. Does the Chariot have other super powerful people with him that are aiding in this endeavor?
Only his servants.
Like yourself. Okay. Well, was my last question anyway. So that's like a 6th bonus question. If you want to ask before you pass away, that's fine. But you don't have to. Just if you want to be nice about it.
How many? How many of those servants? Right? Is that what you were going to say, Chester?
No, it was just like yourself question mark.
No.
So that's
gladiator.
Well, you know, kind of nice of him. He didn't have to answer that last one, and yet he did.
He didn't, yeah.
I will not eat him.
I mean, you could.
I'm pretty full, to be honest.
Not right now, though.
The thing they say, though, about eating elves, you eat one, and then an hour later, you're hungry again. All right. Well, I guess...
I knew you were going to say that.
It had to be said. Do we need a lengthy rest, would you say? Looking at Warden? Or Mira?
Yeah, Warden. How are you? Well, I'm out of the... So you know I can do this cool thing with my sorcery. I'm out of the points that I need for that. However, I could probably
teaching how to track them.
Yeah. I probably could have converted my packs. I probably should have coffee locked this a little bit, but I was like, I don't know if we're gonna fight immediately. So I probably can convert 2 spell slots, sorcery points, and then take a nap, and then get the spell slots back.
Like another short rest?
Yeah, I can take it. I mean, it's really up to Warden, honestly. I only have 1 3rd level spell left. That is the bitch of it all.
Yeah, I'm down a fair amount of spell slot. Well, not a huge amount, but like half. Yeah, I'm down half my spell slots. We could try to have a long rest and see what happens.
Well, we could try. What do you think, Warden and... I almost said Warden and Mira. Warden and Linger, what do you guys think? You guys sleep less than me and Chester, I think.
I don't sleep.
Yeah.
At all?
Mm-mm.
If you feel like you need a longer time to recuperate from your day of travel, we could potentially try to move away from the Colosseum and set up a camp. I don't know if that will mean that we have to deal with them sending people out every hour on the hour for me to have to deal with them, or for Warden to have to deal with them. Preferably Warden, because you're just effective and efficient.
Yeah. I guess I will say this feels like a fight where we should go into it with our full capacity.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, there is capacity to explore around. If you walk into the Colosseum now, you're not straight in the middle of a fighting pit. If you walk in, you are just in the building and can explore around.
I wish there was a way for us to test how quickly these symbols are. I don't want a magical tattoo that I didn't pick on my chest.
We could send Denny in.
Yeah, let's
Denny, dear.
We could possibly
Denny
lose
just slowly
Denny.
looks up from a pan full of eggs that he was in the middle of scrambling. Just what?
Huh? Warden's like, yes, send Denny in. See what happens to Denny. Oh no, I have to kill Denny. Warden's so ready for murder.
If you want.
Any day now.
Just a quick, well, not quick, but would you mind doing
Would you be a deer?
Would you be a deer and do a little advanced what is it? Scouting
Reconnaissance.
For us? Reconnaissance and whatever.
Advanced
the thing
Dungeons
is,
and Dragons.
yes. I need you to go in and get us some tacos.
Some tacos? Did you say tacos or thacos?
Tacos.
Tacos, but like tacos. So that was the joke.
No, listen, Denny. That's a big sport in the arena, right? No, there's only one thing we can get at Sporting Arguments that we can't get anywhere else, and that's dipping dots.
Oh, you're right.
They don't sell that shit in stores. No one knows how they're made. But only by a few elite. Not
do they
bakers.
have Dippin' Dots in the UK?
No.
What?
I don't think we do either.
Tragic.
Wow,
It's like
American
ice
supremacy.
cream, astronaut ice cream.
USA.
Yeah.
USA. God, it's like one of the only good things we have here. It's probably because of the red dye, the red 40.
Probably.
You don't have itty bitty little flash frozen beads of ice cream that you just
tiny.
We have
yeah.
similar in like other forms.
and like when they first go on your tongue, they stick because they're so.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab Phantom.
Yeah.
Danny, also here, if while you're in there's any sort of gambling or betting going on the various fights, here's 10 gold. You bet it on whoever you feel's got the edge and just sort of see how you do. You know, a little bonus for yourself.
Okay. Stealthily or just walking in?
Just walk here like you own the place.
Like casual.
With confidence. And a clipboard. Here, she like digs out a clipboard and gives it to him.
Oh, clipboards get you in anywhere.
Unfortunately, we don't have much for high vis vest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grabs the clipboard and tentatively strides into the Colosseum.
You think there's a way we could? Okay, bye, Denny. I was gonna say, do you think that there was a way that we could give him like that we could see through his eyes? Maybe we could send Rip with him or something, and Rip could.
Sure.
Mura's eerie tokens.
Oh,
Denny also has an eerie.
Yeah, we'll go.
That's where I thought you were going with that. The thing that you never use.
I used
we
that.
used it one time.
That's true. I used it. It was not beneficial in that case. Mira,
You've used it one other time.
Yeah, in the tower. And we were like, yeah, these guys are the good guys. And then we were like, oh.
Whoopsie doopsie.
Whoops. Mira's like, I got you. And she'll use her eerie token.
You can give it to Rip and Rip can run it over. I can just send them both.
Good. Yeah.
You can send Rip in with him as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Rip one of my teeth. No, I'm not. I'm gonna cut off a little bit of my hair, remove a lock of my hair, and wrap it around Rip like a scarf.
All right. Right before you said like you were gonna give a clip of your hair, he was like ready to he was like cracking his knuckles to rip off one of your nails, and then you were like hair, and he's like, oh.
No, maybe Vera will ask Rip, would you like a tooth, a nail, or a lock of my hair? The hair can be a scarf.
Or a beard.
It's gonna have, or a beard. It's gonna have to be a back molar though. If it's one of the, I don't want to rip out one of my front teeth because it's gonna look kind of weird, Just
He's gonna wiggle his fingers.
Oh, you wanna? Okay. She'll pop off her thumb. Oh,
and then he's gonna do a little quick crafting and turn it into a buckler, and then just run after.
Nice.
Yeah. She pops off her thumbnail and she's like, hopefully this works. Okay, good luck.
Okay, in that case. Mura rolls, or Steph rolls for Denny. So.
Oh God, I do.
Do you guys want to give me perception checks for Rip and for Denny?
Denny. 13. The heat got turned on and I am not loving it. Yeah, I'm schwitzing. I'm
Absolutely.
becoming, Also, the dogs are just like not having it. Like, they're like, Dad is laying down. Why? What do you mean, why?
Cool. So Denny got 13. What did Rip get?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I was so focused on the nail and
the buckler. Did somebody share an image of Dippin' Dots while I was?
No,
I got you. I got it. Okay, Mitch.
The screen. Oh, I guess did I close it? Jesus.
First of all,
that's right. I have a button. I forgot I had a button.
There are all these flavors. Second of all,
I didn't know there was flavors.
Oh yeah,
you
didn't. And then second of all, this is what they freaking look like. Oh my god, it was a PNG, so it's just in the
perfect.
It's just in the chat.
Let's see if I can buy those.
So they make like knockoff ones that you can like get at the store.
Do
5.
Yeah, I've seen them before.
Sorry, I apparently closed
my dots.
They've also like this is like the rainbow one. I don't know what flavor that is. It's rainbow ice, which is just like anyway. Sorry.
It's okay.
ADHD has.
Does Rip have any bonus, or is it just 5?
No, we just decided he just for everything does a straight D20 and
yeah. Okay. Cool.
Dipping Dot sponsor us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So neither Denny nor Rip notice anything kind of particularly out of the ordinary. But you guys watch as they kind of disappear into like the darkened mist behind the gate. And kind of through Rip's eyes, you see it is like you're kind of walking through fog, and then it just clears as the sound of like roaring cheers, clashing weapons is just echoing. So at the moment, the pair of them are kind of like, if you think about it, like, so you've got the big circular Colosseum with these big chunky walls, and it's almost like they're inside the walls effectively. So there's like areas within the walls, and then as you kind of go through the next side of the walls is where you would probably reach like the fighting pits or anything like that. Do I have... Yes. So Rip is obviously able to like relay a lot of these feelings back to you. Mira, can you see and hear through the token, or just hear?
I have to activate it. So hold on. I just freaking jump. Oh, wait, why am I doing that? Denny also has this. I can just scroll down. Right. So I can send a telepathic message to a creature holding or carrying the token as long as I'm within 10 miles. Only 25 words. If I'm within 10 miles, I can enter a trance as an action. Trance lasts for 1 minute, but ends early if you dismiss it or are incapacitated. I can see and hear from the token as if you were located where the token is.
Okay, so you can
but
see.
But I personally, yeah. But then Mura is like blinded and stuff.
Okay.
Blinded and deafened.
Would you do that so that you can see kind of through Rip holding it out, or?
I think Mira tells them like, "Hey, here's the thing. Like, if I do this, I only have like a minute. So should I do it now, or should I wait until we think they get a little closer?"
Well, let's wait just a little bit longer. I'll keep checking in with Rip, and when he gets to some place that he feels is interesting, then we can switch off.
That's probably a good thing.
In that case, then, kind of through Rip, obviously you can see and hear everything, but he can like also relay his feelings to you in general as you're familiar. And you get the sense, kind of like as the pair of them enter, the air has immediately almost become heavier. And Rip's just kind of relaying that like oppressive feeling to you. As is quite classic with my shit, apparently. Inside, the Colosseum seems a lot larger than it was on the outside. There's clearly a thing about British people and things being bigger on the inside.
Whoa.
No.
I'll say kind of between the two of them, just because it then means you have like an idea of sort of the layout in a way. They're able to just kind of move around and somewhat blend in with the crowds as they're moving. And you get the idea that there's almost like 3 main areas, basically. So there's the central arena. You can see like Denny and Rip kind of peer through to like the center of the Colosseum, and you can see this massive pit surrounded by this tiered seating. And as they kind of poke their head in to watch, you can see there is like a fight going on in the pit. It is quite a large kind of like oval pit, and as the 2 fighters are like running around, clashing, breaking up, spreading distance, trying to like circle around each other, all of those standard fight maneuvers, you can see as they are fighting, the floor of the arena itself seems to shift and change. You see it goes from sand to stone to grass, and it's almost like as kind of like this elven warrior is gaining the upper hand, it shifts from grass to just sand, and he loses his footing. And you can see kind of one of the like desert-born humans from Doblis. The minute it switches to sand, so much more like sure-footed, immediately starts gaining the upper hand again, and then suddenly the floor seems to just split, and there's now a massive pit between them. They kind of teeter on the edge, and then large columns rise up from the pit that they're now able to jump across and carry on fighting. And as Denny and Rip are watching, one of the columns just vanishes, and you watch as that fighter just plummets, and a cheer goes up from the crowd. There is also kind of like, as they continue to look around, there is what seems to be like oh fuck, sorry, I keep getting fucking cramp in my toes because
no, those are the worst. Or the top of the foot.
Really
Also, I'm listening, but be right back. Barking dog stuff.
That really threw me off. Just suddenly 2 of my toes went like that.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see kind of one of the other main areas is like... we'll just go off the names I've given them, because why wouldn't we? Like this Hall of Champions. It's almost like a gallery in a way that is just lined with statues of fighters from the looks of it. As they're just kind of walking through, you can see there are a lot of them have kind of visible marks of that symbol on various parts of their body, some on their necks, some of their heads, arms, chests, legs, kind of like they're not always necessarily exposed. You get the sense some of the statues that you see, the symbol might be like under the armor or under the clothes. And I will say, given that Steph's not currently here, I'll do a roll on Shard for Denny, and can you do a roll for Rip for perception, please? If I do it on Shard, it should show everyone.
He's not doing great. Should I do a perception check for Linger since she's looking through his eyes? Like,
sure.
I mean, her perception's not much better.
Let's check OBS.
Oh, yes. She did it. So he doesn't notice what he's looking at, but she's got a 16.
Fully outing my username as well. Whoops. I forget about that. Oh well. But yeah, let's check Denny's bonus, because Denny got a 10. And his perception is a +4. So Denny got a 14. Linger through Rip. Some of these statues seem very lifelike. And kind of through Rip, you can see Denny is taking a bit of a closer look as well.
Oh. So...
I'll say if you want to try and like identify stuff through Rip, it might be at disadvantage, but you can still give me an Arcana check, just because like it is hard to do it through someone else's senses.
Oh yeah.
But also, Linger probably has a good enough bonus to not have to worry about the disadvantage.
Well, I'm not going to even bother. She got a 10. Well, I guess...
got a point of inspiration, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll just go with 10.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, she can't do worse than that at disadvantage. So she's just like, his feelings are like messing with her ability to analyze. And he's moving around a lot because, I don't know, maybe Denny moves around a lot more than she's
Denny's
used
a mover
to.
for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like the combo of those things. It's very hard to like get a bead on what's unsettling. But like, if you guys enter in later, Linger can absolutely do a fresh check through her own senses.
Yeah.
Same with Mura, because Denny does not beat the DC.
Yeah. Back at the group, like, Linger is just making this very long, displeased noise in the back of her throat.
Do you want me to look through the token, Linger, and see if I can see anything?
Yeah, I think now would be an optimal time. There's something tickling at my brain, but they won't stand still long enough for me to look at it.
Okay.
Gives the instruction to Rip to hold the token.
Yeah, I'll activate. I'm just gonna sit here so make sure I don't get hurt or anything because I can't do anything. So she'll do that.
You can do Arcana or Insight. With
No.
Linger, just assumed it was gonna be a Arcana check.
Mira will do
that
an
is
insight
your
check.
best.
Yeah. Also, Linger is going to ask Rip to hop off of Denny and like so that he can stand still with his little buckler pointed at the things to try to make it a little easier.
Very movie.
While Mira is in her trance, Chester's going to take out his disguise kit and give her a nice smoky eye.
Ooh, I love that.
Very hard to do because Mura just always has water on her.
She just looked wet.
With an 18 though, Mura. As you're kind of looking through the token, and Rip's kind of leading you around this hall of champions, you very much get the sense that this is like a gallery of past champions. And not all of them have that same weird feeling. And as you kind of look at the ones that do give you the weird vibe, you realize that those statues very much seem to be petrified warriors, potentially failures who are cursed to remain part of the Colosseum forever.
Seems like there's a lot of petrified people here who are cursed to remain part of the Colosseum forever.
I mean, so it's sort of a win-win. Either we win or we lose and we get statues of ourselves like I've always wanted. So
depends on the trial. Some of them you will die. Some of them potentially if you
some
fail,
of you may die.
Exactly. That is a sacrifice Mitch is willing to make.
All right.
And we'll say that's kind of like a little bit of the token time. So you do still have a little bit of it left.
30 seconds.
As the two of them kind of make their way to the last kind of major area. And it very much seems to be holding cells. It is these like small shadowy chambers, looks to be where kind of combatants are waiting for their turn in the arena. You can explore a bit further if you want, but that will then be going back to just Denny and Rip with no token.
Mira relays that, and then I mean, she can't talk through the token, so
I thought you can send them a message.
Oh, I can. Yeah. Mira's like, okay. Well, I guess beforehand, Mira would have been like, should we tell them after we use the token that they should come back? Like, because after that, I can't.
I think Linger can tell Rip to come back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as long as he's it's within range, which I assume he is still in within range.
Yes.
So she can.
Well, then Mira will let... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you could tell Danny that when Rip says to come back, that means we have let him know. You know, that sort of thing.
Okay. Before it runs out, Mira's like, Denny, listen to Rip. He's in charge.
Denny's
when he says come back
to question him.
When When he says come back, come back.
Everyone's too scared of Rip to question him.
Very fair.
He's a loving little boy.
Mhm.
He is. But also, like,
Frightening.
if Rip tells you to do something, Linger's probably told him to tell you, so you listen to Rip. And even if it isn't Linger, you listen to Rip.
God, I realize that we've only been in session for like 2 hours and I've gotten up like 35 times.
But yeah, if Denny and Rip are going to carry on looking around the holding cells, can you give me another perception?
Speaking of that, I'm listening. Once again, I heard Jay go. So.
That's fine.
That's
I'll roll
Rip.
perception for Denny then.
That's Linger.
Denny has an inspiration at least.
Hey.
It's so inspiring down here.
Just amazing.
With a 13, it's not particularly hard to miss. It's just kind of like dimly lit, a bit dingy, a bit shadowy. So like, it's not necessarily super easy to perfectly see it, but it's also like, once you've noticed something, you'll see it. And as they're kind of like walking around the holding cells, some of them just kind of look like rooms, like self-contained rooms. Some of them look like full-on prison cells. But you can see kind of all around this whole area. Not necessarily like covering the walls, just a bit sporadically. There are like scratched messages in the walls that say things like, "No escape, he always wins, the Chariot watches."
Ooh. Are the cells occupied?
Most of them look like it, yeah.
Hmm.
Various kind of creatures, beings, races, kind of, it looks like they've come from all around Erroth. And it stretches on for quite a considerable distance.
So it seems to me we need to rest and then figure out how to directly challenge the Chariot, because there is no way we can fight a gamut of that many other people and it not be severely annoying.
Probably wouldn't have to make your way through every single one of them. It's just like, you can make your way through some trials and there are other people waiting for their trials.
What would be kind of nice, did Rip see any way that all of these cells could be opened at once? Something to that effect? A giant lever, perhaps?
No.
I
there is not
don't
a video
think
game
that he
style giant
did.
lever.
God, that would be so cool.
Just Skyrim style.
However,
Lame.
As needed. Warden activates detective vision.
yeah, maybe it would be advantageous for us going forward for maybe you to work with Rip a little bit on his surveillance and reconnaissance skills. You're quite talented at it. Yeah, if you have an interest in teaching him, I'm sure he would love to learn.
All right, I'm game. Spread my vast knowledge.
We'll leave it to Mitch to figure out how that's going to work.
But yeah, so those are kind of like the main points of interest. The rest being like toilets.
Was there a place to gamble?
Misc. Yes. Sorry, yes, there is a lot of gambling.
Make sure he does that.
Kind of like the tiered seating. You can see a lot of people that are in the seats watching also have Chariot brands on them. So you get the sense that like it's not just like a crowd of people, it's like some of the gladiators are actually sat watching, waiting their turn. So not everyone is in the cells and not everyone is in the seating. Not quite sure why. But you could probably, or Linger could probably infer the idea being like, maybe they've passed a couple of trials and they've earned the right to be able to watch others, as opposed to just being confined to the holding cells the entire time.
All right. Well, hopefully he gets some gambling in with that 10 gold.
But yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Rest longly.
Yeah, I think probably a good idea would be to take a long rest.
Okay.
Do
Are you
we want
for them to come back, or?
Yeah.
No.
Wilson. No.
No, I'm joking. I was joking. It was.
Yeah, 8 hours in the Colosseum, they may run into a problem.
Yeah.
Making a jeep.
Okay. Do we want to enter the arena, or not the arena, but the whole structure, and try to find a place to rest inside, like we're participating and go through that whole icky cell process? Or do we want to try to find a place nearby to camp?
I would say nearby.
Okay.
Because I feel like we go in there and you kind of don't know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Denny and Warden return.
Denny and Warden, Denny and Link.
Denny and Rip. Neither of them have any sort of chariot markings on them.
That was
well,
successful.
did you win any money, Denny? With that 10 gold I gave you?
Yes, good point. Roll Chester for me. A d20.
18.
18. Yeah, you see Denny kind of comes out, and Linger had seen all of this through Rip's eyes. But Denny comes kind of walking out towards you, Chester. Yes, okay, so one of the trials that happened, there was this tabaxi, and there was this frost giant. And everyone said the frost giant would win because he was a frost giant. But I knew. Cats are tricky as fuck. And the tabaxi won.
Hey.
And he just dumps a gold purse in front of you.
Ooh.
Hey.
How much did you win?
Cats are kind of tricky.
Won. Maths in my head. He dumps 1,000 gold in front of you.
Ooh, shit.
Holy fuck.
I'll tell you what, Denny.
The odds were very much against the tabaxi.
Denny, he's 500. Keep it for yourself.
Thank you.
Don't give Denny that kind of money.
I can buy so
have
much
to-
breakfast food.
Put that on his sheet so you don't forget in case something happens where it's very important that he has 500 gold. You never know.
I will put it on his sheet.
You just
Let's
see
see.
on the top left
Equipment.
corner. Warden will remember that.
Equal. There we go. Look at you, baby. You got some gold. Oh, good boy. Maybe he can buy himself a level up.
Never. Cool. So you guys setting up camp?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, Chester will get Belvedere up and running.
Are you doing
Yeah.
a kind of full view of the Colosseum, or off to the side in some trees, bit of a shaded
Right
area?
here. This looks like a beautiful little alcove here of trees.
I think a little shaded area, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you find a little alcove. A little copse, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Belvedere sets up your camp.
Yeah, now that Denny's rich, she's not doing that shit anymore.
I will say, who's got the highest stealth? Probably Chester.
Probably Chester.
No, I'm not, because my deck's a shit, so I don't know.
Okay.
5.
Okay. Okay.
My
Denny's
stealth is 6.
Denny's is a +3. Mirrors is okay. Yeah, it's got to be Warden then. Wow.
Good smelling kind, baby.
Yeah.
Shitty deck,
Yeah.
baby.
Would you like to give me a stealth check then? It's not necessarily for like hiding the camp, it's just like how visible is it
Pandora.
if someone exits the Colosseum and is on patrol kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's a 13.
Cool. Thank you. So you set up your camp. Is there anything you guys want to do as you settle down for your long rest?
We'll catch up, but like, you know, as the camera pulls away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You have a lovely little catch up on the stuff Linger found out in the library, which we'll message each other about at some point when we remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the research Linger was doing.
So the important thing that I need to get across to you all is this book, not my book, but this book, which is also mine, but if you ever see it open, close it immediately and let me know. There's souls trapped in this book, but also I think the magician can come back if this book is open. So until I figure that piece out, it must remain closed.
And that's bad.
Can we tie it? Like, can we use some belts?
We can do all of that.
Confused. You don't want to kill him again?
Yeah, Mira's like, don't you want him to come back? Don't you hate that dude? Don't you want to kill him?
I would like, I do want to kill him one final time. I don't want to have to keep doing it. It's just that it's annoying.
That's annoying after a while, definitely.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Like, maybe like every once in a while, like, you know.
I'm not really I'm not a go-backer, you know, so like once I'm done with a relationship, I'm just done with it. So
that's
understandable.
fair.
Yeah. So I just didn't want to get in a situation where I hadn't told you and it gets left because I don't know, I get kidnapped or conked on the head and then it opens.
Please don't get kidnapped, Linger.
I should also mention maybe a little more detail when you leave me a note that says you're going off to get kidnapped. Luckily, I ran into Olvir, who told me what direction you went in and gave me
direction.
Mm-hmm. So just a touch base on that.
I sent him a long, very detailed sending message, so I don't know what his problem is, to be honest with you.
Was he confused? Was there confusion?
Yeah, I told him exactly where we were, how to get there.
25 word limit on the spell. Got to keep that.
Oh,
limit.
Yeah, it's. Like I mentioned, I'm working on improving that, but it's going to take me. It's on the docket.
All right. Well, if you need any help with your spells or such, you know, I'm here.
Of course.
Okay, so next time we go, we need to leave you a note that makes more sense.
You know, a little more detail.
Okay.
Like where you're going, how I can find you, points of contact. If you can just send me your 3 words, that would be great.
Oh my God, Lawrence reference. Lawrence reference with what's 3 words.
So useful.
It is so useful.
You know, like
Greatest
6 months.
He ever taught us about.
6 months after, or maybe even a year, Jay was like, "Have you heard of this thing called what 3 words?" I was like, yeah, I have."
I want that to be a spell. Can we make that a spell for Linger? What 3 words? Hell yeah.
That would be so great. She can teach it to Mira and oh my God, geez.
Yeah, it's a cantrip. It's a cantrip anyone can learn for safety in the world.
And what does it do? I am unfamiliar.
Okay, so it's this app and it grids off the whole world and it's by like 3 meter by 3 meter squares or something like that. And each square gets 3 random words associated with it forever. So if like you're lost in the woods and you've got a cell service or you're in a field, you can give your emergency responders the 3 words that pop up for you and they'll know within a 3 meter square exactly where you're at.
Yeah, as opposed to like
it's a real thing.
It's a real app. Cool. Instead of like having to be like, I don't know where I am. I got off this highway and now I'm like lost.
Yeah,
it's like
you just be like, my what 3 words are pancake, banana, step, and they go, type it in. We know roughly when I will be there in however long. Don't move.
Like there's stories of it literally like there was one where some teens had fallen down like a sinkhole type situation and they could just get high enough to send out a text message and use the app. So they were able to, you know,
let me
get the search and rescue people. Yeah.
It's real cool.
Fun times.
I'm gonna see if Pancake Banana Step is a real place.
Probably.
It is.
Yeah, you have your long rest.
Holy shit, where the fuck is this? That's in like the middle of Russia. No, yeah. It's in Ukraine. Like I said.
Boy.
Like I said, in the middle of Russia. It's near Svietspor. So Svietspor. It's closer to Odessa, but
so
anyway.
Throughout your long
we don't have to
rest,
talk about my
presumably
we don't need to go into Stephanie's feelings about Ukraine. So sorry. Let's continue.
Stop interrupting Mitch.
I'm sorry.
Presumably Warden at the very least is keeping watch. Would Linger be keeping an eye out, or is Linger doing book stuff?
Let's be honest, she's doing book stuff.
Cool. So, Warden, can you give me a perception check? And I'm gonna roll, see if stuff happens during the long rest, and see if they find the camp or notice the camp.
Oof. 2.
Cool.
Equals 6. So yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, the trees around here are quite hard to see through. You do kind of hear the sounds of activity and patrols. See if anyone notices the camp. So that one. Roll those 2 again for the disadvantage because you hid yourselves in the trees. That's another nat 1. And a waste of a nat 20 because that was with disadvantage. You get about halfway through the long rest. And you can just see one just looks to be like standard Azith human. Just kind of on patrol, has stepped off the side of the trail and is just like peeing up against the side of a tree. And he's just like looking around him, and he just slowly makes direct eye contact with Warden. You can see he's in like full gladiator armor. Symbol of the shield, symbol of the chariot, is just like side of his face, and he's just like he makes direct eye contact with you. You doing anything?
In order to do an intimidation check.
Sure. What are you doing to intimidate him?
I think it's just like the docent's gonna activate and just have like one red glowing eye through his visor.
Yeah, sure.
Just giving the stare of doom.
Intimidation check.
So stop 24.
You hear the sound of pissing against the tree gets a lot louder as the eye starts glowing. And he's just, you could see he's really unsure of himself. Like, he's clearly in his head thinking, I've got to do something and get them into the Colosseum because they found the Colosseum, but he's also like, I don't want to go near this guy. He is terrified. But also looks like if he was to go back to the Colosseum, he might tell people you're there and come back with friends. That wasn't me rolling, I dropped my die.
Well, technically that's a roll, so.
That was a roll to finish peeing.
What do you roll on that?
I actually didn't look because it genuinely was putting it back with my other dice. It dropped down my hand. I was just being silly.
Warden, I think, is just going to say, you will not get the satisfaction you need from us. For the requirement or something. You will not get the requirement that you need from us or something like that. Like how you said that they the fighters that are compelled have like a desire or something, like a
yeah, it kind of looks like once they're in combat, there is something that just keeps them fighting to the death, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he just looks scared and like he will run back to the Colosseum and come back with friends.
Okay. In that case, I want to...
Either they win, or they have new fighters joining the Colosseum that they have kidnapped.
Okay, so... I could use.
Or they
I think Warden's actually going to pull up the snake-headed whip.
Okay.
And he's going to jump up, try to take the initiative.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just going to... How far away was he?
He's probably about 30 feet.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just going to get as close, and then when I'm at least like 25 feet up, I'll miss. Swing the whip at him and try to... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just roll me a quick d20, and we'll see if it's like, is he expecting you to jump up and do something, or do you just catch him completely off guard? I've just rolled real low, so you probably do. Just a straight d20.
5.
I rolled a 2, so...
Okay, perfect.
Warden's like a bit slow to his feet, but he like staggers back. He's trying to like zip back up the trousers and pick the weapon up that he had just dropped on the floor.
Yeah,
and Warden just sprints over, swings the whip. So I'll say you can have advantage. It's like a surprise attack, basically.
Awesome, thank
caught
you.
Him completely off guard.
Advantage. So yeah, 23.
Easily hits.
And I want to use a superiority die to make a grappling strike.
Okay.
So that would be you actually hit a creature with melee. Expend superiority die to grapple target. What's this here for you? Add superiority die to your strength check. So that would be only a 4, but so that's going to be an 8 plus strength.
So strength check contested by their strength check. Fine. So yeah, your athletics versus their athletics or acrobatics.
Alright. Do athletics.
He is also going to do athletics.
So it's be 17 plus another 4, so 22.
And I'll give him disadvantage because it's caught him by surprise as well. Yeah, that's a 14. So you grapple him.
Awesome. Yeah.
Warden just
I guess I should also
cracks the whip and it just proper Indiana Jones style.
Yeah. Now they have him in a grapple. Then we can go and get the damage up for the first attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's be 5 total, 2 slash and 3 poison. And let me see. Would it be a bonus action or an action to switch weapons?
Are you fully dropping the whip?
If I do would that break the grapple?
I'll say it makes it easier for him to escape, but he's still like wrapped up and bound. It's just like he's bound, but it's not been like tied off, so he can theoretically free himself. It's just going to be a bit easier for him to do that.
So I guess I could technically one hand the whip, and then Yeah. So with my offhand, I could draw my dagger at that.
Yeah.
So what would it be to do that?
Also, you can just do that kind of as part of the attack, because you can just draw a dagger as part of the attack. I know you technically don't have 2-weapon fighting and can't technically, but like, fuck that. Fun stuff's happening, let it happen.
Okay.
I would have let you pull out the ether rifle and just close range pump a shot into him, because it would have been funny. Wraps him up in the whip, pulls a rifle out and just holds it to his face. You gonna tell the others about me? No!
Well, I don't think I technically can, because it's two-handed, so...
Yeah, it is, I know.
I am trying to adhere to the rules at least. So yeah. So attack. What would the attack be if it's...
Dagger.
Yeah, it would be just like a
the
1d4,
attack is
right?
still the same, you just don't add your modifier to the offhand damage.
That's right.
24 hits.
Awesome.
And then
So
it's
just
just a
be
d4.
It's gonna be 3.
Points. Yeah. I mean, he's also one of the little wimpy ones, so 8 total, and he's bloodied.
Oh,
Not
perfect.
looking good. One of the snakeheads is just latched onto his neck, and you just stab him in the gut, and he's just like, "Ah!"
It's like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Is that everything Warden's doing?
Yeah, I'll just make that my turn.
Okay. Well, now we can roll initiative. That was the
Perfect.
surprise attack.
21. There we go.
9. So, you've got him grappled. You've just stabbed him in the gut, and it's your turn.
Sorry, Mitch, but I'm gonna have to make fun of your culture. And I'm gonna give him the old London special. So, yep,
Yep.
that's 10.
Shank him, as we say. Give him a little shank.
Guessing a 10
10
wouldn't.
You just like go
No?
to stab him again, and he just
But yeah.
twists out the way
Wait,
while still
because
whipped.
he's grappled. We're going by the new grappling rules, right?
What are the new grappling rules?
Because like, well, it means that I can't attack him while he's grappled, of course.
You can still attack him while he's grappled.
But like,
I'm sorry, I don't know the new grappling rules. I just
I'm
go
trying to
well, it
look,
was
but
part
it
of
keeps-
that. Where it's-
where it's speed 0.
look.
I was trying
not-
to, but it keeps.
Ethan's like, are we going by the new grappling rules? What are the new grappling rules? Nobody knows them.
Okay.
I'm unfamiliar.
All right.
Oh, Warden,
I'm-
come on, keep it down over there. Can you just kill this man in peace?
He's just stabbing someone.
Tell
Yeah, sorry. God.
us you don't play a fighter without telling us you don't play a fighter. What are the new grappling rules?
Here you go.
Well,
Lindsay's got it.
Perfect. I was just in the middle of Googling it myself.
It kept
And-
auto-correcting to graphics. And I was like, why D&D Beyond would I be looking for graphics? Sorry.
No,
It
no.
just
Who knows?
made me angry.
so when a creature is grappled, they're not prone, right?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
I'm gonna say because
I mean, technically, you have a free hand to grapple him, because the hand you're grappling him is the one holding the whip, and you, for flavor, grappled him with the whip. Because it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything that changes the normal grapple, to my knowledge.
okay.
Doesn't look like it.
So
you
did
can
that?
still.
Yeah. To the 18
So
hit.
the 18 will hit.
Okay. So that's going to be
2 piercing damage, yes.
2.
He is real hurt. Warden's just stabbing him.
Hmm.
Is that Warden's turn?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be Warden's turn.
Okay.
I guess I could attack with the whip actually, but oh well. I thought it'd just be funny just going with a knife.
Well, let's see if I go back to the mid-session chat, because we had something for this. We had something for this last time. Because he can't quite reach down to pick his weapon up. But he does have a little sidearm. Will it show? Damn it, why can't I get the same gifs? I was trying to get the gif of the people from Wolfenstein stabbing each other, but he's gonna go for his little side dagger and try and stab Warden back while Warden's stabbing him. It's a nat 20 on his first attack.
There we go.
And a 10 on his second.
I think that nat 20 will hit. I think it just hits.
Yeah, it's a 22 total. As he just grabs this side dagger and starts stabbing back at Warden.
Bro.
5 points of piercing damage. As he stabs into Warden, you see the mark of the chariot starts glowing, and he just, for glory, just starts trying to stab Warden in the shoulder, getting towards the neck. And the second one just completely misses as Warden just headbutts the dagger to the side.
If this guy's yelling and waking me up, Chester's going to throw a illusory dart at him. Just roll over, look at him.
Go for it.
Being interrupted in his sleep. I'm going to use a reroll on that for my gift of luck. And I'm going to probably hit, I assume.
Yeah.
And going to deal 8 damage of the psychic variety.
So, Warden, as you're just stabbing each other, you see this illusory dart flies over your shoulder and his head just...
All right, I'm going back to bed. Don't wake me until morning.
Just slumps over against Warden.
Warden just just pushes it off onto the ground. It's like, I had him. It's fine.
I know he did. It's just he was yelling and screaming, and it's very annoying.
You can see the unseen servant is desperately trying to tuck Chester back in.
No, Master Chester, please.
Blankets all ruffled. He lies back down and just gets perfectly tucked back in again. But yeah, that was the only interference I rolled during the night, and it was more trouble than I thought it would be. So, you have your 8-hour long rest. Apart from that, he was the only one that noticed you guys. Everyone else rolled lower than Warden's 13. So, your long rest finishes mostly uninterrupted. Not a long enough interruption to completely ruin the long rest. It was a single round, so couple of seconds of Warden and some dude just stabbing each other. And then Warden just kind of returns to his inert state. The docent makes the Windows XP powering down sound. Do 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 do.
Oh shit, it's updating. God damn it.
All Warden can see for the next 8 hours. Hold on. Getting your updates. Please don't turn the system off.
Sorry guys, my docent blue screened.
It's just 99% complete for the next 2 days. But yeah. You all wake up, apart from Linger and Warden, who were already awake. Throughout the night, Linger, Syldaris has just kind of been helping you figure out basically ways to like disrupt the binding and try and start making some work on freeing the souls. And kind of then as we start going forwards, we can do some rolls to see like how quickly basically Linger manages to like reverse engineer the spell to release them effectively. But this first one, Linger just gets, because that initial Arcana check on the book was like a 27, so the groundwork happens.
Yeah, and she does have her own private master mage on call, so that helps.
Well, part of him.
Yeah, enough.
One of my takeaways from that talk too was that Linger saw what he did wrong to become a lich, meaning she now knows how to become a lich.
Oh yeah, well she already was like on her way.
Yeah.
This just kind of
guys.
This solidifies.
I'm gonna be a lich.
Well, yeah, like, and this solidifies more and more that she was right, and that she does have a better method, and that everyone else is kind of stupid.
Perfect.
That's gone down this path. She's like, you don't have to get souls. Ugh.
She was like, this is my research, and he's finished it wrong.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. She's figuring out how to become a lich without having to use blood and sacrifices and souls and stuff to sustain it, because eventually somebody's going to come after you if that's how you're doing it.
A nice lich.
All of this before Linger finds out how to power lichdom through bath bomb dust.
Bro,
it's gonna be part of
music.
little does Linger know Mira's already a lich. It's just the bath bomb. Keeping her
Glitter gets everywhere, and Mira has nothing if not an endless supply of glitter to give Linger for her lichdom.
Yeah, each little speck of glitter is one piece of Mira's phylactery. Good luck.
I'm spread everywhere.
Fucked up by one dude with a Hoover.
No.
But yeah, it's weird. You've had this long rest, but like, it's not like nighttime came around. It stayed kind of like this perpetual, like, not quite sunrise, not quite sunset, not quite like twilight hour. It's just like this strange perpetual glow almost. It's like the sun never really rises or sets. Just constant spoopy. But the Colosseum stands before you. What would you like to do?
Some Minotaur for breakfast, and then hit in.
Denny cooks up a nice breakfast for you all. In fact, actually, wait, he has the chef feat, doesn't he? That gives you stuff.
We give that.
I like stuff.
Hexblood, remote viewing, knight. He can have, technically, because of his background as a knight, he should have 3 retainers loyal to his family.
Jesus.
You can have 3 more NPCs with him.
That is more than enough.
No.
3 more Denny's. House Denny.
House Denny.
Forager is here, but Thug is not. Thug? Chef. 5e.
I think you had it right the first time. Chef.
My name is Chev.
My name is Chef.
Right, here we go.
I've never even seen that movie.
When you finish a long... It's such a good film. When you finish a long rest, you can cook a number of treats equal to your proficiency bonus. Special treats last 8 hours. You can use a bonus action to gain temporary hit points equal to his proficiency bonus? Yes. So his proficiency bonus...
2? Is it 2?
Is it 2?
Is it 2?
2 temp hits.
So he cooks up 2 Treatos. He just turns around and... Treatos.
Cheetos.
Who would like?
I see there's only 2 of me, but you will notice there's 4 of us, 5 including yourself.
I'm working on it. Sorry,
all right.
This is all I can make right now. But these are special like energy balls.
Ooh.
You'll get better.
No, he
Yes.
won't.
I don't think he's gonna get better. Yeah,
So
or
the
Warden will
Warden's
kill
just
you.
Staring at him.
All right. Well, who gets him?
He's good.
Well, okay, what is?
bow from the lovers?
Yeah, we did give that
He's
to him.
attuned to it now because you've had a
Aw.
long rest. Well, you had a short rest, so he is attuned to it.
What do these little balls do again?
2
If you
temporary
eat it as a
hit
bonus
points
action, you get 2 temporary hit points.
for 8 hours. So
I-
basically,
Tastes
eat it
really
now.
good.
I think we should give one to Chester for sure.
So
Are you saying my
don't last
63
8
hit
hours.
points?
The hit points are just temp HP that are there till they're gone. The treats last 8
or
hours.
they're for
Oh, okay.
the
Okay,
treats are
okay.
there
Temp HP just
forever.
lasts
Oh,
until
All
it's gone.
right. My lowly 63 hit points. I will take another 2.
what's your
Thank you.
HP, Linger?
72.
I will also give it to you.
Okay.
Mira just
I
takes
have
them off Penny
80.
and gives them to the others.
Thanks! Gives them to other people. I appreciate it. I have the second most hit points in this party, which is kind of impressive considering I'm a fucking sorcerer. But I never dump con because I'm scared of dying.
My wizard has, and it's not a fun time. But I have a crazy AC now, so they just don't hit me.
Oh, so 14 AC and the lowest hit points? Are you saying that's a bad combination?
Are you saying I'm weak? No, I'm just saying I would cry if it was. Also, I think.
Why is Linger's AC 11? Didn't she get a tattoo? Or
Oh,
something?
No, I got a tattoo.
Yeah, I've got to recast
Fair enough.
thingy.
The only saving grace I have is that
so I can just see what your things do.
You are
The brief summary.
such a smart player, though, Maywood. Like honestly,
no, it's this thing that I'm wearing that I'm attuned to. The
yeah,
area pad of wound closure. That's the only reason that
Yeah.
makes me feel a little safer.
yeah. But you also you've got everything marked out. Like you've got your whole. It's
Lists.
the way that you play is so enviable.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly,
Yeah, Steph and I take the chaos
Honest-
approach.
yeah, I really you're what I strive to be, and I end up being me, which is really
Same with
depressing,
Lindsay.
honestly.
I just watch
Lindsay
and I'm
too,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, so that's how you
Yeah.
play a wizard." And then
I play,
Ethan's like, "Fighter is fighter. Let's go, bro."
Fighter is fighter.
and
He
Stephanie
knows
is like,
his
"What's
shit,
on
and his shit is fighter.
Yeah, I do like to listen to Ethan play a fighter because I'm like, oh,
so
Yeah.
good, right?"
But as a side note, I'm very excited to watch you
shucks.
play Redacted in the upcoming third campaign, Redacted.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love Redacted.
I
Hey,
feel
guys.
like
I'm playing as an SCP.
so. Just to get this out there, I'm going to preemptively apologize to you, Ethan, for the way that I'm probably going to mess up a lot with what I'm
Oh,
doing.
Jesus.
The good thing is that
To be fair,
Ethan
I
isn't
think
one
you're
of
in a
those.
brand new class, so it's not even a
I
phase
am.
in and of itself. So
Ethan isn't one of those players that will if they know the class in and out, they won't correct you. They won't be like, "Excuse me, this is the correct thing."
Yeah, I forget shit all the time. That's why I was asking about grappling rules. It's just
yeah.
I also the amount that I play Warlock and Sorcerer and still forget everything is ridiculous. It's redonkulous.
Remember all those levels you didn't have the Storm Sorcerer thing that you kept
Yeah.
asking about?
That's the only thing I remembered. And I was like, so I've got this thing, right? And you're like, you don't have that yet. And I was like, I have it. And I'm like, I don't have it.
It was just such a
It's
prime
so
example of you going, I play this all
stupid.
the time and I always fuck it.
I played 3 different warlocks and I can't remember anything for any of them. I feel so dumb. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. And I'm going to add another sorcerer in the new year. Bro.
The Mura brain space is empty. Although that's
the only...
New long rest. New memories coming back to Mura. They are all coming back to you. And Chester,
God.
The apathy is gone.
Hey, I mean, just the normal level of apathy is still there, but the magical apathy.
She didn't come here to get uncursed.
One day.
But also, it wasn't that much of a change for Linger. Linger just cares slightly less.
Can I ever get remove curse? I don't know.
But yeah, cool. So you wake up.
I get remove curse.
Are you heading into the Colosseum?
Yeah.
I think we have to, right?
You head into the Colosseum. It is still just like constant uproar. I mean, Linger and Warden throughout the entire long rest, the noise never stopped. It's like there was constant activity in the arena. And you can just hear it drifting through the gates. And Linger, you would definitely know, like, you can see runes all around the Colosseum, all around the trees. It's intentional. The noise doesn't just kind of leak out from the Colosseum as it normally would anyway. There are runes around to amplify it, like it's trying to entice you in. And you enter.
We've been enticed.
Yep.
Can you all give me perception checks? Oh, thanks, Zoom subtitles, for that perfect use of an ellipses as I dramatically paused, and it showed it in subtitles.
Wow. What perception?
Yeah, it just went, can you give me ... perception?
Wow.
Where do you get subtitles from?
Yeah.
You can just turn
I think it's an AI.
It is. I used to have it on automatically for everyone because I know that all of us are riddled with shenanigans.
Anxiety.
I don't. Do you? If you have Zoom split screened, if you go to more, captions is the second option.
All right. Can you give me a stealth check? Oh, that's funny. That works so well.
So let's have a look at those perceptions.
That does work well.
He rolled stealth for you. There you go.
Okay, well, actually, it was distracted by that.
So 10, 12, 4, 15, 7.
I was distracted by it too because it said erode stealth.
15. Who rolled the 15? Mura. Why does Mura keep nailing these perception checks?
I'm proficient in perception. I don't know why.
Wait, we're rolling stealth or perception?
Perception. The stealth
What
is
rules?
you. Say
you asked me to roll one.
Test the subtitles.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's worse.
Mira's also like has a +9 to deception.
Oh wow!
I don't
doesn't
know.
lie.
Yeah, I'm.
So you've
This build, Mira's built wrong.
Do that.
I have a +5 to deception too. When did that happen?
But yes,
But you're a liar.
Perception check, Mura.
Yes.
You can see off just slightly in the distance. There's like a shadow being cast by this pillar, and there is a silhouetted figure just leaning quite casually up against the pillar. You can hear just gently playing a lute, very clearly like looking in your direction.
You guys, I think we're being harassed by a lute player. She points, like very obviously.
And seeing that they've been spotted.
Don't move!
You all hear, well. The Chariot's new favorites. You truly have no idea what you've walked into, do you?
Hi! Who are you?
And she
I have a feeling who this is.
starts striding towards you, still kind of obscured slightly by the shadow. I think Chester would definitely immediately recognize, like, the click of the heels. It's one of her signatures.
Who's this bitch?
And as she just emerges from the shadows, you see Kay steps out. This place, it doesn't let you go, and neither does he.
So like the opposite of how I let you go. Oh, I see.
Warden, give me your rifle. Give me the gun.
No, you don't know how to use. I barely even know how to use that thing.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I don't have to hit her. I just have to hit nearer.
She, I am here as a humble servant. I guide the games. I guide the gladiators.
Humble, you say? Well, seems you've learned some new tricks.
A few.
Well, where do we sign up?
I can do that for you if you want. But once you're marked, you can't leave. Unless you're allowed.
You mean when we defeat all the trials, yes?
That's one way to leave.
And there are others?
Cheer goes up from the crowd as a dead body is just stretchered back through.
Ah, yes, that one. All right. He looks at his companions.
Allow free movement. Some of us are allowed to move freely.
Is the potential final task we must overcome in the Colosseum the fighting of the Chariot himself?
Of course.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
And no one
I didn't want to waste our time.
Well, we're not no one.
Yeah, we're
That's
abracadabra. Bitch.
Right. Speaking of not no one.
Yes.
And she
Good one.
kind of like lowers the loot, looks a lot more seriously. Chester, can you give me an insight check, Chester? As she just like directly locks eyes with you.
Well,
You've got people here. They might be of interest to you. So far, they've made quite a name for themselves in the games. But I expect you may have a vested interest in trying to keep them alive.
yeah. I wonder if it's who I think it is. Perhaps former bandmates? Question mark.
A little closer to home.
Oh, you motherfucker. Better not be my parents. I would be very upset.
I was asked to draw you in somehow. And there's only a handful of things that I know motivate you. Money. People you like. And she just like lowers the collar of her shirt. It wasn't entirely of my own volition, and you can see she's got the mark of the Chariot branded into her collarbone.
Excuses are kind of like assholes, and you are one, so you should probably know about that.
Yeah.
He fakes being not worried, as he's very good at doing. An expert, in fact.
Hester, can we kill her?
Right. I'm kind of hoping that it'll all be rolled into one grand saving of my. You know what? You're gonna silver lining. You're gonna get to meet my parents, so that's nice. We're gonna
cool.
stop the chariot. That's nice.
I like
the
that.
cherry on top is murdering Kate here. I wouldn't say no to that.
Well, I think we're all on board then with this plan.
Very, very much.
And just like the iciest look that Linger can muster, which is, I would assume, pretty icy, is just this whole time directed at Kay.
All right, so I ask again, where do we sign up?
She just sighs heavily. Where do you want the mark?
On my butthole. Because that's the kind of respect this mark deserves.
She just like shakes her head in disbelief and just starts walking towards Chester.
He bends over.
Oh. Warden covers Mira's eyes.
So Chester, as she's kind of approaching, you've seen her do this a handful of times before. As she kind of like reaches up to where the tuning pegs on the lute are, and just kind of like presses a little rune on the back of the headstock and just slides a small wand out of the neck of the lute and just taps Chester on the butt with it. Can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yes. I'm probably going to use one of my things for that one. 14?
14. You are immediately racked with intense pain. It is like you are being physically branded. You take 3 points of psychic damage.
Ooh.
And you all watch. Or is just a trousers up, or did he fully drop trousers to be branded?
Drop trow.
Yeah, you all watch as the mark of the chariot appears seared into Chester's butthole. Just as
I don't think Linger was looking that close.
No, Mira was not.
Warden covered Mira's eyes.
Yeah.
Warden is just staring in horror.
Yeah. Well, I'm not allowing that. So, in we go.
Do we have to get branded in order to fight?
If you take part in the games, you will be branded.
He can try. So, I'm not letting you do it.
Yeah, what she said.
Chester's like, wait, we didn't have to get branded?
Yeah, he would have done it anyways.
Yeah, I feel like, that
he wanted the disrespect shown.
Mm-hmm. She does, like, kind of gesture to you all with the wand, like, anyone else? No? Okay, and just kind of, like, twirls it through her fingers and slides it back into the lute. Very well.
Like Linger would rather a gutter goblin from the basement come up and give her that mark than Kay.
If you win or are released, it will go. Or you can keep it. Some people do, as a mark of pride.
Yeah, I'll probably keep it, to be honest. As a mark of, what's the opposite of pride? You know, fun pride.
Well, I can take you straight to the games. Or I can take you to the holding cells. Or you can watch.
I mean, you could just point us in the right direction, right? We don't have to keep you with us.
I can do that too.
He's definitely a little antsy now that his parents are involved. Yeah, I'd say games, probably.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. You're gonna want to go that way then. And she just points towards the arena. And just like bows mockingly. and just turns and starts to walk away.
Do I have any petty magic?
Explode heart.
Yeah, like I didn't think that I needed my my spells right now.
Could a double prestidigitation stain on the back of her shirt?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah. She's gonna have that stain for a while now, and people are. She's probably so not liked that no one will tell her either.
Yeah, and I can't decide if Linger would make it look phallic or vaginal, but it's some
Phallic.
Okay,
right,
and then
yeah.
I'll go out vaginal, so we got it both covered.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
Okay,
are
so
you heading straight to start getting involved in some games, or are you going to sit and watch first and see what happens?
Chester wants to go straight. Probably smarter not to, but he wants to go straight.
Well, we should.
He would
so-
listen to his companions say otherwise if that is a.
So I'm a little concerned here. She claims your parents are here.
Yeah. And it sounds like maybe even they are competing in the games. It's one of the reasons I'm kind of antsy to get to it, because if I'm not fighting, it may mean that they are, in which case I do not like that.
Yeah, maybe we should just jump in. I mean, either we
fine.
win the day or we tried.
And we get to be statues, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there is like a waiting line for people basically ready to head into games. And it does take some time, and you are able to see a few of the games kind of happening before you. There seems to be kind of a mixture. One person kind of seems to go in alone. You hear this booming voice just kind of echoing around the Colosseum. Welcome, champion! You sought glory. You wish to prove yourself so that you can return home and bring glory to your people. But first, you must survive these challenges. And you watch as this kind of lightly armored, looks to be just kind of like somewhat generic wood elf enters the Colosseum and is basically faced with like an assault course. And you can see as they are having to like run, jump, climb, and as they are doing this, arrows are firing at them from kind of like holes around the arena. Parts are moving around, dropping underneath them. Who wants to roll a d20 for me?
I will,
Go for it.
since nobody said anything. That's a 9.
A 9. You watch as this elf gets about a quarter of the way through before you hear the sound of cannon fire. This cannonball blasts through this kind of like floating stone ledge that they were just about to jump onto, and you watch as they plummet and just hit the sand floor of the arena, stop moving. The crowd goes silent for a moment, and you hear, "It would appear you failed. Remove him. Next challenger."
You have failed the challenge.
And you watch as the elf is dragged away. The crowd cheers. You see fighters going up against animals, magical creatures. There's a pair of minotaur that face off against a chimera, and are unfortunately defeated. And then it comes time for you. So are you all going in together or just Chester?
Oh man.
He'd like them all to go together.
I think we should go together, yeah.
Okay. You all walk into the arena to the roar of the crowd. Welcome, champions! You've come far, but now the real test begins. Prove yourselves in battle, for only the strongest deserve to leave my arena. The crowd roars. Can you all give me a perception check?
Yeah. Did we bring Denny?
Yes.
Natural 20.
Jeez,
Denny is with you.
22. Let's go.
Didn't he be with you?
4, 4, 25, 22. Warden and Mura. You look around at the tiered seating. It is an enormous Colosseum. But kind of almost immediately facing this, like, challenger's walkout, effectively. You can see there is a very clear, like, path up through the tiered seating, completely unobstructed. And you can see right at the very top, in, like, the perfect prime position to be able to see the entire arena, is this ornate balcony with this very large, like, stone throne, almost. And sat atop this very large chair is a very large individual, a lot less blurry than the last time you saw them. Very clearly, the Chariot. And with that, as you step out into the arena, can someone roll me a d4?
I will. I said first that time. What race is he?
Yeah, I'll say Mura and Warden pick it up. The other two, Linger and Chester, it's just too many people, too far away, too much going on. Linger's probably, like, taking stock of the whole area to see what she can and can't get away with, whereas Chester's distracted.
For reasons.
The Chariot.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Of course. It's interesting. The Chariot very much looks to be a human. But even kind of from this distance, very clearly, like, 8 foot tall, absolutely massive. He's in this, like, magnificent Greco-Roman armor. It's like crimson with this intricate gold trim. It is adorned with engravings of various battles and legendary conquests. There is, like, a small kind of stone circular table next to him, which has, like, some food and drinks, but also in the center, this large helm crested with a plume of red and gold feathers. And even from here, all of you would be able to see just these intense, piercing eyes just staring down at you. Warden, can you give me a history check?
Oh.
Let's see. Can my docent do a history check?
Sure.
Or does that have to be me?
The +7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Docent has history.
So 19.
19. Given that it's coming from the docent, then, you watch as it kind of, like, targets the Chariot, starts, like, zooming in. You, even through the eye of the docent, as it's kind of zooming in, you recognize the armor a little bit, even before it starts giving you any readings. This is Silent Isle style armor. And it starts like capturing his face, bringing up pictures of his face. You can see it's like running through records. Obviously at the time didn't have the name the Chariot. But you see a record is pulled up. And you see just bear with me, I'm trying to see what stuff you would get and wouldn't. Yes, so you see all these records are pulled up, and you remember hearing this story, and you remember why. There are, every now and then from the Silent Isle, heroes, fighters that head off elsewhere. Some of them just fade into obscurity, some of them make a name for themselves. This one made a name for himself. He became revered as a legend, and is one of the reasons why the Silent Isle started to get a bit of a reputation for producing warriors that were honorable and disciplined. They're very often kind of hired to go elsewhere and protect kings and similar, or join armies and forces. But the record that's pulled up, you recognize this story of a great hero named Phylacus.
Fuck.
He was born into quite a humble family, showed very early promise as a warrior, kind of embodied the island's ethos of strength and honorable actions, and he quickly rose to a position of leadership. And even before he'd left the Isle, people around Erroth started to hear the name and learn about him. But he was usually silent in the face of this praise. It was kind of the more like silent, mysterious figure, but people knew him by his deeds. And quite some time ago, there was this large conflict as part of the War of the Gods. People were getting involved, and it began to engulf the Silent Isle as various factions were trying to recruit warriors from the Silent Isle to join in the War of the Gods. And he led an army of the majority of the Silent Isle to an overwhelming and frankly somewhat miraculous victory against a very large invading force who were basically trying to take over the Isle and turn it into like their breeding ground for ultimate warriors to then join the War of the Gods. And it is said that in recognition of this, fuck, bear with me. I had the name in my head a second ago and it's gone. Whoops, that's the wrong folder. Yes, it is said that due to kind of this victory and his honourable actions, Argentis, one of the gods, the Platinum Dragon, bestowed upon this warrior a divine gift. When he led this charge, he rode a chariot into battle, and that chariot was blessed. It was given celestial steeds, his lance was imbued with the power of dragons, and he became just this legendary figure. The way the story goes, he used these gifts for glory for the Silent Isle and to help people around Erroth where he could. But then, despite kind of the great victories and all the respect he garnered, he'd started to kind of build up his own troupe of fighters that were supposed to embody his ideals and help him, basically. The way the story goes, he faced betrayal from within. The people he trusted began to conspire against him, driven by jealousy, driven by fear of his power. And somehow they were able to overpower and kill him. And when he died, the chariot and the lance were lost to the world, almost like the gods had taken these gifts back for this betrayal. And you see as it kind of flashes up on the docent, Phylacus deceased. He should be dead, according to the story.
That makes two of us.
How do you spell Phylacus? I know I'm spelling it.
Fylakas.
Yes. Okay. It's all connected, people.
It's like
all connected.
Poetry. It's like poetry. It rhymes. What was the battle called? It was the big war.
War of the Gods.
War of the Gods. Yeah.
You know, the really big one.
Yeah.
Yep. Just trying to write all it on my notes.
Don't forget to use the points, sir.
But yeah, funnily enough as well with the War of the Gods, as things kind of slide into place with that as well. You do remember finding out that Mura came before the War of the Gods. The War of the Gods is like the turning point when one of the gods betrayed the Divine Council, turned against them, sparked this whole war, and that began the Second Era. And the Second Era has been going for about 4,000 years now. But this realistically could have happened at any point in the last 4,000 years, given it's still ongoing. But like, it's long enough ago that this is like legend passed down and told to children to be like, one day you will grow up and be a strong warrior like them, and like other kids around the Silent Isle are also named after this great champion.
Including Warden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a strange coincidence.
Right?
Jeez. This would be like if I had to like fucking fist fight John Wayne. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
It's like I'm literally named after one of his fucking characters.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Mura and Warden can just see him sat imposing in this very large chair. Warden, the stories definitely don't talk about him being like 8 foot tall. You think you would remember that.
That guy is
Obviously,
really
they talk
tall.
about an imposing hero, but like, this is another level.
Well, his statues are just as tall as him. Normally they exaggerate that. Warren's just going to quietly, guys. I think we have a problem.
Yeah, we got several problems, I think. What specifically one are you referring to, though?
So...
I mean, that would have Chester scared with just that one word.
Yeah.
Said like that.
The chariot is Phylacus.
No, you're
God bless you.
Phylacus.
Yes, I thought.
I am named after him.
Oh.
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 Well, are we sure this is like the Phylacus and not like just another pretender?
Okay. Like another person who was named after him?
Well, legend has it that Phylacus was blessed with a chariot and a lance.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
Which would explain the name.
those can be commissioned, but I guess
No, they can't, Linger. No, they can't.
There's only one.
Maybe he's
Let
just
me
a
have
really
this, Linger.
all right.
man.
Well, if you truly believe this is the Phylacus, then I believe also, and we will deal with this accordingly. Do you now have reservations about our ability to take care of him? Should we take care of him? Is there a limit on what we should be trying to do here? Is this some sort of like religious figure to you?
No.
Okay.
Aimed after him, though.
Yeah,
Nothing short.
Or
Nothing short of our best.
Okay.
Is acceptable.
Well, you look at it this way. If I could put all your minds at ease, if I may. They have a Phylacus. We have a Phylacus. We have a mirror. They don't have a mirror. We have a Linger. They don't have a Linger. We have a Jester. They don't have a Jester. They are fucked.
They have your parents.
They do have my parents.
Oh.
Oh no, they could be making a chest order right now.
Go.
Impossible.
I'm one of a kind. Yeah.
Now this is
Yeah,
getting
they-
out of
yeah,
hand.
they have
Now there are two of them.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, as you all step out into the arena, thanks to the D4, as this kind of obstacle course fades, ripples, vanishes, the kind of hard stone floor that the elf had landed on. You watch as the stone ripples and changes and is replaced by a sand pit, basically. And as the sand kind of appears on the floor beneath you, you all hear "Gladiators, ready!" And the crowd all kind of look at you in anticipation. The cheer starts to go up. Across the pit, you see a gate slowly starts to slide up. And you see the four of you, so not Linger, everyone and Denny, somewhat familiar, or not familiar, but like similar, very similar to the guards who are on the outside of the Colosseum. They look a bit bigger, a bit beefier, almost like they're juiced up by this symbol you can see burning on them. Very similar armor and weapons. You see two of them enter. One leaves. No. But you see two of these gladiator servants enter the arena. And... No, not quite. I think we should test you some more. How about some past friends?
I don't have any friends.
You watch as from the ground 4 specters slowly rise up from the sand. And with that, we will end the session there.
Who are they, though? Who are they?
We'll see.
What do they look like?
Spectre. Cliffhangery.
Next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
It's just
Warden,
4
you're,
mirrors. Oh no.
No! My God!
Oh wow.
What a fucking nightmare.
It's 4 copies of Thorgol the Foul.
Oh.
Now you'll never want to fight him because he was your best friend. But yes. We will end
It's
the
just a
session
whole
there.
arena full of Denny's.
And
it's not Denny the Hexblood. It's Denny's the fucking
Denny's.
restaurant.
This is Denny's.
Warden steps forward, kill all who get past me.
20 Denny's appear in the arena and they just, welcome to Denny's.
I prefer Waffle House.
This is why no one steals your mugs.
We will see you all next time as we see who these specters are or what these specters are. Maybe. Maybe not. Bye.
Maybe not.
What?
Remember,
why
guys,
these specters are.
Drink
Bye. Click.
We're partnered with Wraith. It's good fun. It's cool stuff. They have a Terrifier bundle because they teamed up with Terrifier. Art the Clown.
Absolutely
is
wild.
posted over those tubs.
Terrifier.
It's pretty good. There's
People love that clown.
Yeah, there's like
People do love that
a
clown.
lemonade flavor and a cherry flavor, I think. Like a cherry lemonade and a something else. There's 2 tubs. Go check them out. Can't remember what they are. And Black Friday deals coming up that I'm quite intrigued by.
Ooh.
Which should be pretty fun. And who knows? Maybe you'll go and check it out. Maybe you'll use code PHN at checkout for 10% off. Cheeky plug.
Yeah.
Because we're partnered with them.
Are we partnered with them?
We are. Cool. I'm gonna go eat some more pumpkin pie because it's fucking good. And
Hell
also,
yeah.
If I leave Ronnie with it too long unattended, I won't have any more pumpkin pie to come back to because it's really fucking good and we both like it a lot.
Understandable.
Absolutely.
We get it.
We will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.